Uh,
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. What's up? How's it going, everybody? Happy Christmas Eve to everyone who celebrates out there. Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm good.
We have the lovely Miss Vivian in the house with us tonight. Not for very long. Not for very long at all, actually. Just want to say a couple of things, everyone. First of all, as always, I want to do a shout out to my newest subs, Dan Tancredi. Thank you, sir. And Anonymous, and of course, as Anonymous, by Anonymous, I mean there was a few people that subscribed this week whose name I couldn't see due to privacy settings. But I just wanted to mention that the final 2 subscribers this week were number 499 and 500. So I start tonight's Christmas Eve episode celebrating that I finally got to the 500 mark after 2.5 years. So that's some sort of an accomplishment, I guess. I don't know, but thank you to one and all. Not only the new subscribers, but of course to everybody who has been subscribed for a long time as well. Really quick, also wanted to put a quick link. I want to do this right away. A quick link to Carl's collection. That channel. That's Carl Sodergren. Put up another new video this week. Check it out. That one is he's doing his 5 favorite pieces that he picked up for his collection this year. So that's always a lot of fun. And really quick before I get to you guys in the chat, I also have here, where is that next one? Okay, so I want to do this immediately. So it's different than my usual. As you guys know, at the more or less the midpoint of every show, I typically tend to shout out Nikki B, this fine fella right over here. But I'm going to do that right now just so that we can just sort of chat, relax, and I don't have to really worry about remembering to do it later on. And for Nikki B here, I'm putting in this direct link because he actually does have another show this coming Friday on the, I believe that's the 29th it works out to. So there you go. That's a direct link to his show. And I caught his show on Rewind this week, and he had a lot of cool sales, giving some nice discounts. So show up, everybody, if you want to buy some art, and at pretty good prices. All right. So there you go, Nikki B. If you pop in by any chance tonight, I will tell you that you already got your promo. So there we have that. Now let me jump in quick to say hello, and thankfully there's not a lot of people. Well, not thankfully. I wish there was more people, of course, but I understand why there isn't many. Thank you again, Rick. I know you're not here, but thank you again for everything. Mr. Red Jack, I hope you're in good spirits, and I don't know if you're still here or if you've gone to work. Oh, I saw you in. Okay, after this show, 6 people unsubscribed. So you're still there. Apparently, there you are again, saying hello to David. Wow, nice. Okay, Mr. Red Jack, are you coming? Are you going to hang out for a little while? I mean, I don't know how long we're going to go. There's not many of us. But number 1 Marvel fan, as always. What's up? What's up? John Brown, as always. Good to see you this evening. And wow, Southern Comic-Y, what's up? I know you celebrate Christmas with the massive amount of children that you have. And And I know that, it's probably happening, with Santa Claus tomorrow. But I would have thought you guys might be doing, I would have expected you to be doing something tonight, some kind of a Christmas Eve dinner. But maybe you already did it. I don't know. But lovely to have you, my friend. And why are you saying, yeah, mute yourself? Oh, shit. Did you hear me when I said that? Oh, yeah, because I unmuted myself. That's hilarious. So that's going to be recorded on the rewind. Nice. Yeah. See, I had muted you.
You
And
muted me twice.
No, I muted you, and then you
know.
muted yourself.
Oh, so you're screaming, everybody can hear you. Okay.
Yes, everybody was hearing me scream at you after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, does that mean everybody? Did you guys all hear me screaming when I was telling her to open my door later? I don't know, whatever. Anyways, but number one Moral fan, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you, Alberto. And I hope the Warriors game was awesome for you and your son on Friday. Hope you guys both had a great time. G'day, mate. What's up from Australia? My friend David. How are you, sir? Lovely to see you here.
Australia.
And look at that. Because of where he lives, it's even a little bit later in the morning, 2 hours later into his morning in Australia. Although,
what time?
Like 12, I believe, David, I believe you said you were 12 hours, right? But now, of course, still 12 hours of difference, but I mean, 2 hours instead of 8 o'clock in the morning, it'd be 10 in the morning because I'm starting 2 hours later than usual, But you look very confused. Jeff Wedding, taking a minute from the home fam to wish a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to the Comic OA fam. Cheers all. Now back to the eggnog. Thank you, Jeff. Have a great celebration.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and all the family. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, Polly D. Wow. Merry Christmas Eve. And congrats, Ruben. Thank you for the 500 big ones. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Lovely to see you. Wow. And hi, Vivian, too. Look at that. Awesome. And let's see who else we got. Wow, Carl, I shouted you out, man. Just popped in to say Merry Christmas to all who celebrate and sending some good old-fashioned warm wishes to everyone. Thank you so much, Carl. I did another shout-out for your latest video. I don't know if you were here or not. But there you go. Have a great time with the family. For the rest of what's left tonight, I guess, probably not much, but tomorrow especially.
Wake up early tomorrow. To open the present.
Yeah, open presents time tomorrow. I kind of felt you were going to say something like this, Alberto. I want to unsubscribe and then subscribe again so I can be number 500. What's funny is that, Alberto, I actually did that for Karen. So it wouldn't be, unprecedented for somebody to do that. So I unsubscribed when I saw her getting close to 500 so that I could be number 500. And I actually ended up making myself another, what do you call it? Google, a Gmail account for that. You have to.
Oh, my.
So that I made my name Karen's 500th subscriber. But then the ironic thing is that within, I don't know, 3 or 4 days after I became 500, she hit 1,000 plus after she got the big boost from Brian's Comics, after she made her appearance on his channel. So there you go. What are you going to do? Up in at the right time. Excellent. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Have a great time with the family. Thank you. Let's see. Love your new penguin piece of art, Mr. Red Jack. Oh, right. Yeah. Of course. Thank you. Yes. Well, I just, I don't take it for granted, Marcus, what's up? It is a very lion-y Christmas tonight, baby. Only by 6 points, but what a way to finish. Sealing the deal with the interception. Loving it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Love to stay, but need to get back to the last-minute gift wrapping. I understand. Absolutely. Have a good one, my friend. Wow. Michael, of course. Merry Christmas to you too.
Merry Christmas.
Listen, I know you still have Mika. Mika's, gonna open up the gifts from Santa tomorrow. So I don't know if you're gonna stick around for a bit, but I hope so. But if not, have a great Christmas tomorrow. That'd be awesome. CJ stopping in by for a minute just to say Merry Christmas. Hey, CJ. Ruben, Vivian, Arwen, and the chat. Congrats on 500. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks, CJ. Have a great night and a great day tomorrow. Have fun. Be safe. And awesome. Thanks for all these great friends for dropping in. Really appreciate it. Hey, just dropping in to hit like. I appreciate that, TJ. Wish everyone Merry Christmas, Happy Festivus, Happy Kwanzaa. Love it. Thanks, TJ. Have a great time tomorrow. I appreciate you. And FYI, for anybody who said bye already but might still be watching the way Cab always does, I will be breaking my consecutive week of shows streak next week. No live show next week, everyone. I will be watching college football next Sunday. So I'll be breaking that streak finally. So it'll be the 7th, 2 weeks from now. I don't know what's going to happen then. Nothing booked yet. Any gift unboxings? Nobody's as generous as you and as Lance, Marcus. So no gift unboxings, unfortunately, tonight. I got. Perkins sent me some art pages that he did from a couple of fill-in issues he did. I could show you that art if you want. I already unboxed it though. Next day, okay. And yes, we heard you. Wow, that was embarrassing. Okay, I can't wait to go back to listen to the rewind to see how terrible that is. I don't know. Maybe I can edit it. Hopefully, I can edit that out. Yeah. Heard you. Dave, I heard you screaming down under. Oh, geez, nice. Warriors game was awesome. We had courtside. Wow, courtside seats. 3 rows from the floor. Wow, free food and moves. Awesome. Congrats, man. Wow, booze for your little son. I love that. Yeah, can't beat that for sure. Okay, so you're all right. I see. In some parts of Australia, I believe it's 12 hours, and then in other parts, I believe there are other parts that are like 14 and 16. But anyways, yes.
2 p.m. Oh, wow.
He's 16. He's 16 hours ahead. Wow, amazing. That is so wild.
That's so weird. Cool. So normally, like you starting, and for him to participate is like lunchtime?
Well, I mean, yeah.
2 hours? Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. What will just make me $4.99? If somebody unlikes, or unsubscribes, or whatever, whatever. Somebody's gonna do it. I bet you if I check, I'm probably at $4.99 now. I'm sure. I heard him yelling and it reminded me there was a show. Nice, TJ. Appreciate that. So funny. You gotta wait for someone else to be $4.99. Like Carl host. Well, he's not here anymore. Oh, you mean next week? Yeah. But then it's still I don't count that. To me, it would still be like breaking the streak because I'm not the one doing it, Neil Nakahone, what's up in Saskatchewan, brother? What is up? Good to see you. Happy Christmas Eve. No more shows until next year. There's only 1 week left. There's only 1 week that gets missed. Not that big of a deal. Anyone sending me some awesome art gifts? Not to my knowledge, not from this show anyways. We don't got the funds that Dynamite Entertainment has, Miss Vivian will start her own show next week. Yeah, nice.
I'm thinking I'm supposed to wait for 2 minutes to say Merry Christmas. Now it's
Okay, I'm catching up. But there's only 14 people tonight, but
okay.
They're really busy with the comments. I just want to catch up real quick. Comic Art Boston stopping by to wish everybody a blessed Christmas. Likewise, same to you, my friend. Have a good
Christmas.
One. Thank you. And of course, he's saying hello to you, not to me.
Hi.
And what do we got here? What else? Who else? Everybody's saying okay. A lot of the comments are just hellos to each other. Visiting in-laws in the typo. Don't know what the typo is, my friend. You're at the in-laws. Okay, I know you're at the in-laws then. At least I know that. Okay. And I'm actually hitting the hay myself. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. Thanks for having the show so we can all connect. And yeah, exactly. At least if nothing else, just to wish each other a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. That's great. Thank you, Paul. Have a good night. And Merry Christmas Eve to you also, Neil. Appreciate it. Oh, in Henderson, Nevada. Wow. That's where your in-laws are. Okay, excellent. And you're ignoring them as your wife hangs out with her parents, occupies them. You're like, okay, you occupy. I don't want to talk to the in-laws here. Let me go jump on and watch Ruben's show for a while. You know, I love it. I love it. No, yeah, that's what I was saying. I hit it a few days ago. I've been at 500 for like several days now. Yeah. So there you go. I was just saying, you know, like Alberto was saying, oh, I might unsubscribe so that I can be your 500th one, you know? That's why. And do a live stream of you watching the game.
You will hear a lot of screaming.
Yes. And not.
Yeah. You think the screaming at the beginning was bad? We'll wait for it.
Yeah. And it won't be very nice words either. But that's only if we're losing. I expected, you know, losing, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see you flip out like Harvs. Yeah.
He's loud.
No, that's not going to happen. I got to do that in private, you know. Vivian has some incredible art on the walls. Thank you. I appreciate that, Vivian. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I never shown that wall. Don't show that wall. I've never shown that wall. Keep it hidden. I got to keep some secrets. Never shown that wall. Got to keep some secrets. Thank you. Thank you. Vivian can do the show next week, and we can just listen to Ruben screaming while he watches the game in the background. Which, you know, literally just out the door in the next room here. So it could be possible, you know.
I think it was domestic violence, you know.
Yeah.
It screams so loud.
Oh, yeah, Vivian, you see, you know that with Ruben, you will never end on time.
No. I don't even get on time.
You see that? And look at that. Kenneth. Hi, Kenneth. By the way, Kenneth, if you're still there, you are still there, I believe. Hi, everybody. We're here tonight. Merry Christmas for tomorrow. I hope you all had a wonderful day and night with your family members and friends. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Kenneth, very much. And Kenneth, I just want you to know, last week after you said, was it last week or the week before? I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, you had said that, hey, you think there's a good chance when I had 13 more subscribers to go before I hit 500, and that was 2 weeks ago. And you said I was going to get it before the end of the year. And I just want you to know, in case you didn't notice, you were right. You were right. I got it. I got it before the end of the year. So I'm at 500 now. Well, at this very moment, I don't know if I'm at 500. Some of these weasels here may have unsubscribed just to piss me off. But technically, I hit 500. That's what matters. So thank you, my friend. You were right. And I just wanted to give you props for that. I know you're just joking, Cab. I know. Carlito, what's up? Merry Christmas, my friend. Thank you for dropping in to say that, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Very much appreciated. A New Year's resolution, get Mike Perkins on the show and get him to do some live sale claims for sketches. He's got no time for that. He's got no time for sketches. Believe me, Neil, like I haven't thought of it before. He's got no time for that. But I appreciate that you appreciate the work. Jeff Wedding can drop in a Henderson, Nevada, unless Jeff is the in-laws. Nice. A lot of screaming, but not from the bedroom. Oh, Mr. Rajak, you dirty, dirty mind, you. Hashtag what? Free Miss Vivian wants to go to bed. Yes, couple more.
You know me, it's my bedtime, 10 o'clock.
See? Comic Guy Boston. Are we really joking though? Alberto. Alberto's always stirring trouble. That's it. He's such a shit disturber. He's the biggest of all. But okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Just before we get into having a good little chat, my lovely wife, the reason she's here is she just wanted to say a few words to you all. There you go. The floor is yours, my love.
I was like, Okay, I wanted to say it at the beginning, so because he says so much, I was like, what else left behind? Yeah, Merry Christmas. Thank you guys so much, like for all the support for the whole year, and I can say more. And then just happy to be part of it, and thank you so much, and I wish all the best, and especially health and happiness. And that's it. It's my bedtime. I'm staying here. I thought like he said, just let me talk first. I was like, okay, give you 5 minutes. But again, like usual, 20 minutes pass. It's my turn.
That's how it
And
is.
since we won't have a show next week, and I will wish you a happy new year as well.
Thank you, honey. Thank you for all the support.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you later.
Bye.
All right. Now, why does this seem... Okay, there we go. You see, I even put on a shirt for you, bozos. I put on a shirt. Been wearing it for a long time, and it's got creases, but oh well. And it's supposed to be a crease-free kind of material, but so much for that. But anyways, let me see. What are you guys saying now? Have you ever received art for Christmas? I never have. No. I mean, the thing is that Vivian doesn't. Neither Vivian or Arwen know anything about the hobby, the comics or whatever. So let alone comic art. So I would not want them to ever try to get me a gift of art. They wouldn't know what to buy. They wouldn't really know where to buy it and how much to pay for it and all that stuff. So no, the answer is no there on that one. Interesting question. Merry Christmas to you too. Okay. She appreciates it. She knows that she's gone now, but she knows that you would wish and extend those wishes to her. But thank you very much. I've been thanking us for keeping Ruben occupied 4 hours every Sunday so she can get a break. Nice. Wow. You're just like, you're on a roll, man. You're on a roll. And yes, Happy New Year too. Look at that. Marcus thanks you. And Mr. Red Jack says, good night. Sleep well. Bye from Comic Art Boston. Thank you from David Barr. Good night from Marcus. Rick Cirillo. Rick Cirillo's in the house. Oh, hey, you just came in. Have you been hearing me?
Yes.
All right, I'm giving you all the messages. I think you ruined the moment by calling us bozos. That gotta be me. Come on, Cab. Come on. The creases are from all that bulking up. No, I should be filling it out from the bulking up. The creases. I bought it like that. I just bought it the other day, and it said crease free. I'm like, but I see the creases, and I thought, okay, I don't know, maybe I washed it once, and then the creases go away, and then it doesn't get creased again. I don't know. It didn't work. We washed it. Didn't work. What can I tell you? But I appreciate the optimism there, Mr. Rejak. I would like to say that. Maybe one day we'll see. At 53, when you haven't really sort of done muscle, weightlifting or whatever, muscle work, since you were like 20 and you never really did it very long, even back then, it's almost impossible to put mass, build muscle mass. So whatever, it's doing what I can. What can I say? As long as I'm more healthy, so that's all that matters. That's the thing. Drop the weight. That's the main thing. I'm happy. Arun, would you be interested in a Michael Bear Valiant piece? I don't know why you're asking, but I mean, I will say no, because as much as I like Michael Bear, I never got into Valiant, Cab. I never got into Valiant. And by the way, I hope you're not. I hope you're not. I hope you were asking because you thought maybe I'd buy it from you. Don't send me anything. Don't send me anything. Nothing concrete yet. Okay, yeah, no. Don't send me anything. But I never got into Valiant, so that I can say that. What's that art behind them? Behind who? I don't know who you're talking about. The art's the usual. Oh, in the back? The back. Oh, that's a page for my inventory. I'll eventually put it on the website at someday, whatever. Worst thing in the world is to call bozos. Awesome. Hey, and thank you, everybody. 20 people tonight. Again, it's just like last year. For those of you who were here last year, you may remember I literally went live. And of course, last year was actually Christmas Day, the 25th at night. And I did the show thinking, oh, there's probably going to be maybe 2 or 3 people, and I would have been happy just for that, right? But then there ended up being, I think, 20, 23 or something like that. And there's 23 right now. So that's awesome. So thank you, everybody. That's awesome. Bear's artwork is really nice. Absolutely. I was always a fan. Absolutely. Hart, what's up? Sorry for the late swing. No worries, man. No worries. Well, at least he didn't call us filthy animals, I guess. It's a start, you know. Don't tempt me now, TJ. Has Mike Perkins double-checked and triple-checked his closets to see if he has any good cap art left? I assure you, my friend, I assure you, he doesn't have any bad cap art left, let alone any good cap art left. Yeah, the last page is gone, long gone. Rubén has more a dark horse world's greatest heroes reader. I don't know if I get that. Dark horse world's greatest heroes. I don't know what you mean by that. Merry Christmas and all that stuff too. Hart, are you going to stick around a little bit? How much time do you have with us tonight, man? What's up? Scotty, good to see you, sir. Lovely to say hello. Merry Christmas Eve to you, of course. I suppose I can't stay away from the show. YouTube sent me a notification, so I had to show up. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad to see you. As much as you bust my chops constantly, I'm always glad to see you. You know that, Alberto. Rich, I just got home from Christmas Eve with the grandkids. Wow, you are a grandpa, right? A 5-time grandpa, no less. Just wanted to pop in before I pass out from a food coma. No worries, Rich. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. It's always lovely to have you here whenever you can drop in. That was Dark Horse short-lived superhero imprint. Oh, was it? I remember them having a short-lived imprint. Thank you for clearing that up, Marcus. I remember them having one. I just didn't remember. Yeah, it was after I had stopped collecting and reading. So I only found out about it, many years later when I came back to comics in a sort of surface way, not so deep into it. So I wouldn't have remembered that it was called that, world's greatest superheroes or heroes or whatever. Rubén was a big barbed wire fan. I definitely wasn't, TJ. And I never even saw the movie. And all I can say is my only connection to barbed wire is that I did once own cover art to one of the issues of a 4-issue miniseries for barbed wire as part of my inventory, which I sold, excuse me, probably like 20 years back or something, a long time ago. Excellent. Any chance you want to be here for a while from inside the studio with me? Let me know that too. Rubén, Mike Perkins is working on a new Batman comic. Do you have any news on it? Nothing new that you haven't probably already heard. March 5th it's a black label, which you already probably know. It's going to be black label, which is oversized format. It takes place in 1939, which I'm super, super stoked for. I mean, to me, I've been waiting for Mike to do Batman since he went to DC in 2018. Originally, the reason he left Marvel to go to DC was that it was to go do Batman. And then something happened, blah, 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 and it didn't happen. So finally he's getting his chance, and he's doing a black label, 3-issue, 46 pages per issue. So, kind of like the equivalent of 6 23-page issues. He's been working on it for over a year at this point. And let me tell you, I can tell you this, and I know, you're going to think whatever, I'm biased, and I guess I am, but I'm telling you with an unbiased view, best work of his career, levels better, I think, even than Swamp Thing was. So that's it. So I don't have news on other than that. A lot of interest in the artwork, which, just so you all know, the artwork is going to be slightly larger than twice upsize. It's phenomenal, and a lot of interest in it, but we're not even sure when it's going to go on sale. We're not sure if it's all going to go on sale. It's definitely not all going to go on sale. Mike wants to keep at least some of it. He may gift some. He may sell some to personal friends, close friends, whatever. So whatever. It's all up in the air right now. I have no idea. I don't even know if I'll be shipping it to people or he'll be shipping it from the UK. I don't know. The art will not be cheap. I will tell you that. But it's going to be worth every penny. When you see it, you'll see what I mean. But thank you for asking. Guess I'm wrong. Ruben read Penthouse comics. I never read that either, my friend. Never. I never got into. The most pornographic I ever got into comics was just like those sort of like an underground cherry Pop-Tart. I never really bought it, but I read an issue or two. Omaha, that's it. Yeah, never got into that Penthouse stuff, whatever. Like I said, I was gone when they started doing that stuff. I had just been gone for a couple of years or whatever, So let's see what else we got. Nikki B, what is up, sir? Merry Christmas to you. And hey, Nick, I don't know if you're still there. And thank you, please, for reminding everybody to hit that thumbs up. Yeah, please, if you're here, at least there's not going to be many views on this video. The Christmas episode last year didn't get many views, but at least if you guys, whoever is here, if you can hit the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. Nikki B, I changed it up this week, and just so you know, I just wanted to relax tonight and just shoot the shit with you guys. I didn't want to have to keep remembering that. Oh, yeah, I gotta. Since I'm not like showing slides or whatever, I have no context for where to do your promo. So I did your promo already, kind of closer to the top of the show. So it's already been done. So just in case you ended up peeking afterwards when the show's done and you keep fast forwarding to look for the promo in the middle, somewhere in the middle, you're not going to find it there. You'll find it at the beginning. All right. And it was a direct link. I also put a direct link to next Friday's episode. So there you have it. And Nikki Barucci, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you. Of course, barbed wire was so bad, then great. That means that's why I didn't watch it. I knew, I know when a movie's going to be bad, so I'm happy. Speaking of movies, by the way, guys, we should probably talk a little bit about movies tonight because I watched a few recently. I got some things I can say. Hart can host next week. Well, you really want somebody to host, so you have something to watch next Sunday, huh? Yeah. Adam Hughes drew some nice covers. That's true. At least that's probably the only good thing about that. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Mr. Red Jack. Hey, how you feeling? Oh, it's true. I watched the video I caught the video on Rewind, Nikki B. How are you? Because, yeah, man, the whole hot face thing was so trippy. So trippy. I was like, what's that all about, man? So that's weird. So did it keep happening after the show? Has it kept happening like yesterday? How are you doing? Let us all know. Merry Christmas. I'm dying to see his Batman. Ooh. Well, I can show you like 4 pages only because you know what, guys, if you want, if enough people want, I can probably upload 4 pages. I just don't remember offhand which ones they are, but yeah, I can probably upload 4 of the pages that the ones that DC used for the promo, right? So I can show you the original art for that if you want to see that. I can do that. I've been meaning to do it on Instagram. I've been meaning to show them on Instagram, and I'm going to. I could do that tonight though if you guys want to see. Black Label has Batwang. Apparently not in this story though. I don't think you'll see. Listen, I've seen 2 issues worth of art so far, and I have not seen any Batwang. So to that I can attest. I don't know about the 3rd issue though. You never know. Has Mike done any Bunny Mask? He has not. Scott, he has been exclusive to one publisher or another for 22 years. And although he's at DC now, his contract has just come up, and so I don't know, he's like in between. So he's technically right now a free agent, or if you will, like freelancer again. Don't know if it's going to stay that way or not. But yes, I'm sure you would want to maybe potentially get some Bunny Mask. I know. That sounds fantastic, especially the size of the. Let me tell you, Comic Boston, it's. I can't even. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like when he started showing me the artwork a year ago, when he started working on it, I couldn't believe it. That first email he sent me with he had a few scans in there, the first few pages. I was like, wow, my God. And then when he told me the size he was working at, whew, yeah. But the prices, like I said, will, just so you understand, don't even try to remember what the prices on all his other art has been so far. It will be commensurate with the level of work he is putting into these pages, and of course the size. But it's mostly just the quality, the fact that it's Batman in 1939. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Cherry, yeah, Cherry, Larry Wells. That's right, exactly. Like I said, only a couple of issues though. Borrowed friends, yeah, nice. Borrowed, like a Nick. You know what the deal is. Marcus, better than having no Batwang. Hey, it's better than having a wang at all, unless you're a female. Make sure you get some good images so that we can get a wonderful artist. Hey, you know what, TJ? Here's the thing. So last year, or earlier this year, Scott Doonbeer, right, the creator of the artist edition, he got in touch with Mike. I can tell you this because this much I know. He got in touch with Mike to ask him if he ever would consider doing an artist edition. At the time he asked this, it was when Mike was working on Swamp Thing. And I thought, oh, fantastic. That would be great, right? I would love to see that. The thing is that now Scott Doonbeer has seen a few of his Batman pages because Mike posted the pages that I said that I can show you guys tonight, right? That DC used for promotion. And so now he's aware of that project. And I'm thinking, wow, for an artist edition, I would rather, this would be a perfect project for artist edition because of the fact that not only does everybody always keep screaming online for like, hey, every time they see Mike's work, hey, this should be published in black and white, But with an artist edition, you get to see the nuances in the ink, right? All the brush strokes and all that. In a regular black and white edition, it would all be one smooth, solid black, right? Plus the fact that it's the equivalent of like 6 issues, which is what technically artist editions usually are. I think it's a perfect thing. So, like I said, Scott's aware now that he's doing this Batman thing. So I would hope that Scott would change his mind and sort of get interested in that. And yeah, the scans are available. So it would be really, really awesome, especially since DC doesn't seem to want to do black and white editions of anything unless it's from like Jim Lee, Silvestri or whatever, the big superstar name artist or whatever. It's never about the absolute quality of the work. It's just got to sell the name, whatever. The industry doesn't have that much money, so always treading water. That's how it is. It is what it is. So there you go. Thank you. I will, Nick. I already am. See, Tales from the Leather Nun was my favorite. What? I guess you can't take Catholic schoolboy out of me. Was that a real thing? Because I never heard of that. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you. You're the best. Thank you. Sir, now that Nick is here, you should go ahead and tell us if you have any colonoscopy stories for us. Well, Alberto, I don't know if you were here when it happened, but if you were, then you would know that I've already done a colonoscopy story. Yeah, I mean, Marcus will remember. A lot of the regulars will remember. I mean, the story, I've told a lot. Apparently, I've told a lot of stories that relate to shit. Somehow. And one of the stories was, colonoscopy. Yeah, I've done 2, just FYI, everybody. I'm 53. I've done 2 of them. I did one, I think, 2 years ago, and the other one when I was 45. So yeah, I would do them every year. I would do it once a year if they allowed me. And by allowed me, I mean, see how I remember these things? By allowed me, I mean, because here we don't have to pay for them. In Canada, you have to show kind of cause. Typically you have to be at least 50 years old and go to your doctor, and then he'll, give you a requisition to go get one done. But if you're not 50 yet, and unless you have, a family history or whatever, you probably won't be able to get one done. Because otherwise, a lot of people would say, "Hey, give me a rec so I can, just do it, just to be on the safe side." And yeah, the government, as much taxes as we all pay in this country, the system would go broke if they had to start giving these free colonoscopies to everybody who just wanted to do it for the hell of it, right? So, Marcus, I have not watched Barbie. I was curious about it when it came out. I have not watched it, but I do intend to watch it. Was it good? Because I heard people telling me that it was really good. I didn't expect it to be good, but people are saying it's good. I thought, okay. Again, I'm intrigued. So I'm willing. If you tell me it's good, I'm willing. But I gotta say, Marcus, because you brought it up, I finally watched The Shallows. All right, so I watched The Shallows this past week. Dude. Okay, thank God it was only an 84-minute movie. Because that was terrible. Dude, it was... nothing was happening. Just not like... It was just like, what's going to happen at every moment, right? Like at every single moment, all the way through, what's going to happen. What it's leading, the scene is leading up to. And it's just like, oh, God. And I know you told me when I said, is it good? When you first told me and you suggested it to me, I know you said, it's Blake Lively in a bikini. I get that, whatever. But like, if I want to see Blake Lively in a bikini, I'd rather just Google that, see a few pictures, and save myself an hour and a half of my life that I'll never be able to get back. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you that. Because that was insane. Insanely bad. So there was a ton of talent on that book. It was a feast for the eyes, even outside the porn content. And better, thank you for asking. Okay, great. Happens once. Oh, so it's been happening kind of regularly. That's weird. This usually down when it happens. I know you said that on the show. I'm back to do the show. I know. All right. Yeah. Thank you everybody for the likes. I appreciate that. Yeah. Show the bat OA. Okay. I'll get to that. Hart, you never answered my question, did you? Oh, well, no. I'm just saying. I know you're probably not going to hang around, for the duration or whatever. But I'm just saying, if you want to be with me, so we can at least have one person to chat. So when we can, live without a delay, it'll make it easier for me to catch up on comments from the chat. I was going to say, if you want to pop in, no pressure. You pop in, hang out. If you're going to hang out anyways, hang out with me in the studio. Stay as long as you want, or as short, briefly as you want, and then just say bye, take off when you need to take off. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, are you into it? If you are, I just sent you a link. So if you're into it, man, just pop in and, yeah, pop in. And we'll do it from here, man. So let me back up a little bit. Okay. So David, so we have another one who wants to see. Okay, excellent. Mike Perkins is one of the best artists in the industry has ever had. Thank you. That's very nice. I'll let him know you said that. One of my all-time favorites. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I'll let him know, man. Mike Perkins Batman art, that CD release looked amazing. Although I have DC, I have to say I am not a huge fan of long Batman ears. Yeah, I know. I knew that people that are not used to it are there's going to be for sure people who are not going to like that. It's just one of those things where it's that's 1939 costume, but yeah, it's different strokes for different folks. What can I say, Nick, you should do the show lying down, trad more prices. I don't know about that because I don't really know. I kind of do know some of those prices. No, I wouldn't say that high. Not the camera on the ceiling. No, I'm not gonna do that. Let me put everyone to sleep. Hey Nick, hope you're well. Okay, when did you really want me? Okay, that's what I just told you. Ideal for the artist edition, especially since all the artwork is yeah, exactly. So he has all the scans now, exactly. Gave us the straight poop. I like that, Marcus. Let me put it up there. How can I not get more poop talk on my show? What's up? What else is there? Some Merry Christmases by a few people. Nice. Okay. So it's good. Excellent. So I guess those people the other people that told me it was good, I guess that's what I'm saying. When most of the feedback tends to be positive and it's from different people who don't know each other, that have different tastes and things, when they all agree, it's usually right. You can usually bank on whatever they're saying to be true, so I have a colonoscopy here, getting back to the shit talk again. And endoscopy, I've had that too, scheduled in a few weeks. Cool. First having both in the same visit. Okay. Interesting. Let us know how it goes, I guess, Rich. I'm getting mine done soon. There's another one. Throwing in some squats to get ready for it. Nice. Got to get ready by exercising. Cool. Can't believe that many Canadians want to get an anal probe just for the fuck of it. I'm not saying they do, but, it's millions and millions of people, tens of millions of people. You got to figure some people that are health conscious would want to get one done if they could earlier than at the age 50. That's all I'm saying, Of course, we're watching for other reasons. Philosophy on an art show. We truly are loyal fans. You really are. You really are. And I say that all the time, David. And that's why I appreciate you all more than you know. Believe me. Godzilla -1 was a good movie too. Saw that one. Is it called Godzilla -1? Is that what it's called? I've never heard that. That's weird. But I heard that was good, Alberto. You know what I heard from multiple people? All saying the same thing, so it must be true. I heard that Godzilla he barely shows up in this movie, but when he shows up, apparently he's awesome. So that's what everybody keeps saying. So yeah. Mark Fong, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. How nice to see you. You're late, given that I went on 2 hours late. Wow. But you must have been celebrating the Christmas Eve, I assume. Let me see. Merry Christmas, Cab, of course. Barbie was not for me. Okay, so we have a hater there. Not the horrible one. Okay. What are you going to do? You can't all like it, right? That's what I'm saying. Different strokes for different folks. Sure, I'll join. Give me 7 minutes to set up. Yeah, no problem, man. Whenever you want. Fans of Kelly Jones like long bat ears. Exactly. That's true. That's true. But if you haven't seen it, Marcus, on your own, I think you're the kind of guy who's usually on top of things. I think you've seen it. But if you haven't, I don't know if the pages that I can show you will have a good example of that. But yeah, these are different. It's a different long ears. They're differently shaped, I guess you could say, So people talking to each other, I'll skip those. Yeah, the prep day. Oh, the prep the day before was horrible. That's what's weird is everybody hates the prep. That's kind of what I like. There's two different types of prep, just so you know, Mr. Redjack. I don't know if they gave you a choice. The prep that I got the second time was better because it allowed me to drink stuff with flavors in it. The first time, it was this horrible tasting liquid. Maybe that's what you got. Yeah. So the second time, I actually had to drink horrible tasting liquid, but it was only a small amount. The first time was like a gallon, I think. The second time, it was a really small bottle, and then a gallon of, specific things they specified, but like energy drink, no, energy, fruit drinks, Gatorade, stuff like that. Gatorade, I think it was, or water, whatever. Yeah. There's, yeah. So it was amazing. Yeah, Godzilla's almost a guest star in his own movie. But oh, what appearances. Okay, I'm going to watch it then. Title -1 symbolizes Japan's lowest point after World War II. Oh, and the emergence of Godzilla worsens the country's already dire state, taking it below zero. Ah, thank you, Alberto. That's awesome. Okay. I hear that they may be releasing Godzilla -1 in black and white. Really? Hey, Merry Christmas to you. What's up, Jason Kim? Comic Art Channel, everybody. Happy holidays to you also, my friend. And horrible tasting liquid made me puke. Oh, wow. When you drank it for the... Okay, that's rough. Sorry to hear that, man. No Gatorade. It'll dye your colon. Yeah, no, it was, I think it was, though. It was some colored... I think it was Gatorade. For me. The second time, not the first time. And it's specific colors. Yeah, see, Nick, exactly. Nick is saying it. That's right, exactly. That purple and red cannot be drank, but other ones. So I had the green one. I bought a bunch of the green ones, and I just drank that. Only had one done, one so far. Didn't like it. Was nervous the entire time. Just felt weird. Don't like things put in that area. I get it. I just relaxed. Oh, and the thing is, for me, is especially the first time, I didn't even know what happened because the guy knocked me out. He gave me enough sedative because he was doing the endoscopy at the same time, putting the camera down my throat. And I kept gagging from that. And it just, he was getting frustrated because he just couldn't put it down. And in order to finally put it down, he just gave me enough sedative to knock me out. So then they were able to do the endo, plus the other endo. And I woke up literally as they were wheeling me out of the room. So so that was awesome. The second time, I was groggy and I was kind of in and out of consciousness throughout, which was weird. I'd rather have been knocked out again, but oh well. What are you going to do? -1 is moment after reading first issue of an overhyped comic. Nice one. I like that, Mark. I love how we managed to have a topic of colonoscopy take over the chat. Mission accomplished. Hey, on this channel, anything goes. You know that. Also help to drink ginger ale or 7-Up every few sips. Yeah, I don't know about that. I didn't need to. I don't want the gassy stuff. Then I'll start burping, and I don't want gas in me. What's going on? Alberto. Ruben went to the dentist and ended up with a colonoscopy. Hey, back in the day, Marcus, there was a time, remember, in American history, and probably world history, I guess, where your barber was also your dentist, or your dentist was also your barber. So hey, it wouldn't be, it's like kids are coming full circle, wouldn't be that sort of strange, I suppose, in this day and age, I guess. But we'll stop talking when they tried, and so it slowed the process. Yeah, nice, Rich. Oh boy, that's medieval. Yeah, and exactly. And imagine there was no sedative, right? No anesthesia. So it's like, okay, get the person drunk, start giving them whiskey or whatever other alcohol we have. Get them drunk, and then okay, let's start yanking the tooth, because of course they didn't do fillings. It was just, oh, you cavity, oh, your tooth is hurting. Yank with the pliers, right? Or whatever tool they used back then. Crazy, crazy stuff, man. So the best part was you had to fart before you were allowed to leave. What? It was like a blazing saddle skin. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, typically the gas is just escaping you while they're doing the colonoscopy anyways. So, hey, it's Canada. It could happen there. It could. Doctor wasn't too amused when I asked to ensure that the right tube went into the right opening. Nice. Getting medical on your ass. There you go. There you go. Oh no, dental work now. Okay, he's driving. We're all driving a cab crazy, everybody. Okay. So I wish that Hart was already here because then he can talk to you. Oh, he's here. Hey, awesome. So hey, awesome. Hey, that's fantastic. Check it out,
Can you
everybody.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh,
1, 2, 3.
now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. Yes, I can.
Awesome. So lovely of you to do this, my friend.
Well, I don't celebrate Christmas, so I'm not,
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that, but still, you could have maybe been, hanging out with the wife and the kids, whatever.
Oh, we did that, but it's nothing
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, a few people are going to say hello to you now. So while they're doing that, feel free to talk to them and answer them or whatever, because I'm going to try to look for some art to upload that I told you guys that I can upload here.
So I want to start off right now with Aquaman. I just saw Aquaman yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, and
the second movie. So
yeah,
I was a fan of the first one. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was, a little bit zany, a little bit comic booky. But the second one was awful, god awful.
Oh no!
Unfortunately,
because I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It was. Really? It was. The plot was really thin, and there were some funny bits to it. I mean, I liked the interaction between his brother, his Orm, the Ocean Master, and him. That was cool. But for the most part, the rest of this movie was just a jumble of just a mess, a hot mess.
Wow, really? Do you remember how long it was?
It was about, well, when we got out, it was like 3 hours later. So I'm not sure if it was 3 hours or 2.5 hours.
Okay,
but it was a long one.
Typically long, like most of these superhero movies tend to be.
And I mean, the funny bits were funny, but there weren't enough interesting parts. Plus, the action was so CGI filled that you couldn't tell who was fighting, and you couldn't tell the big battles when one side is fighting the other side, because their color matches were almost identical. One was a little gray purple, one was a lighter purple. It just was weird.
Really?
It just made the story and the visuals, lackluster. Even though I'm sure the CGI guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, they did their best to create the world underwater and all that, but you don't get to see that. You don't get to see all the cool stuff. They run by it so quickly. I mean, they're swimming at 75 miles per hour in the water, and you just keep seeing sea anemones and fishes just kind of like spin right through the screen, and it kind of gave me a very bad taste in my mouth. And I'm a fan of Jason Momoa. Don't get me wrong, but the story was very light, and the some of the interactions between the characters were really strained. The what's her name? Mara. Who's Mara? She just didn't add anything to the story or give any kind of performance that you would have been like, oh, okay, she's doing a great job. It was, just not there.
Okay.
So anyway, let's see. What else is everybody talking about here? Colonoscopy. Mara is canceled. Yep, pretty much, Marcus. That's all I can say is she was horrible. And I mean horrible. The emotional range that she had is 0 to 0.1.
Oh. Well, what did you feel about her in the first one?
In the first one, I thought she did a decent job. I mean, it was just, she was just kind of like window dressing to me, because Momoa is such a big kind of impactful kind of actor, and he was the whole film, right? He brought the film together. But she was part of that film, and she was, I think, she worked with the team of actors and actresses, but This second one, I could tell that there wasn't any kind of emotional ties to any of her performances. Her, emotional range was very stunted, I think, maybe because she was, reeling from the Johnny Depp lawsuit and all that other things that are going on with her. So I don't know. Yeah. We all have our little problems in life, and hers, kind of came off on the screen.
Yeah. Cardi Aquaman is very memorable art, though. Yeah, Cat is always trying to bring the talk back to comics and art,
Yeah, but Cardi Aquaman is hard to find because there are a few Cardi collectors, right?
Yeah.
That hoard it.
That's funny.
Yeah, Marcus, we would like to give her a colonoscopy. On YouTube probably would be a good thing, yes.
That's so funny. Hopefully the bottom side of the trident. Okay, hold on. What all these other? Let's see.
They did replace her with a octopus character, because the first half of the movie was her, and then they replaced what she was doing or part of the mission with a Topo the octopus cephalopod, and you got to see Storm the seahorse. The one in Aquaman cartoons. Yeah, yes. Yep, you got to see him ride Storm, right? Which I thought it was kind of really cute and kind of throwback to the old cartoons. It's and Topo. I don't know if it was a real character in the books or something like that. An octopus that. Well, it was
Topo from Fiddler on the Roof.
No, not quite. He's not a Jewish person. He's not Jewish.
No. Okay. I love Topo.
Jewish cephalopods. I don't know how that works. But for the most part, they just replaced her with a CGI octopus that could squeeze into things and open up doors and shit like that. So, it is what it is. Marcus says, yes, there was an octopus in the comics here. I didn't know that.
Trident for the colonoscopies.
That's kind of not the point, if you get that.
Yes. I hate when the comic movie is just too CGI. It makes the movies look like video games. Yeah, exactly. I hate that too.
Yeah. It lost a lot.
That reminds me of another movie I recently watched where Prey. Has anybody heard of Prey?
Yes, I've heard Prey. Yeah.
Okay, so it's another, well, not sequel. It's just a standalone Predator movie.
Yeah.
Made only for which was interesting. I was like, wow, how far they've fallen that they figure nobody cares about the franchise anymore. They figure nobody, it's not worth trying to do a live action theatrical type release. So it was Hulu. It was made for Hulu. Takes place, believe it or not, 300 and some odd years ago.
Yeah.
In 1719 or 1719, I think.
Yeah.
Here, in America, but like
colonial kind of thing. Yeah. Colonial kind of era.
Well, it's all focused. All the characters are basically Native Americans.
Right.
So
I remember that.
I believe it was a Comanche tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other characters in the movie, and it's not for very long because they only come in much later, are the French settlers from France, whatever.
I thought they were fur traders or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably fur traders, but they and back in those days, whatever. Oh, you're a danger to me, especially Native Americans.
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So they're bad people, right?
Well, they would rape and pillage, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for anybody interested, I can say, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And it's only about an hour and a half. So not even if you end up not loving it, it's not all, at least you didn't blow 2.5 to 3 hours like in most movies these days. But yeah, so Prey is pretty good. And those Native American actors, kudos to them. Really good actors. The lead is a young girl.
She did a great job.
yeah, the lead is a young girl. I don't know, teenager, or who knows? These days in movies, it's usually a 20-something playing a teenager.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she looks like a teenager. Really great. So she was fantastic. Reminded me a lot of Daphne Keane when she was 12 years old doing the Wolverine, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Maybe kind of thing. I was like, hey, another great.
Yeah, that's right.
This one's not as young, a few years older, but or at least looks a few years older. But yeah, so that's one I'd recommend out there to anybody out there.
Nick's left, so good night, Nick.
Good night, Nick. Thank you. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas again. And
but yeah, I did one movie I did just see at home actually because I okay.
Hold on. Carl Amano.
Oh, cool, Carl.
He's back, baby.
Nice. Glad to see you there.
Hey, Carl. So happy to know that you're well. And I was worried for so long. You hadn't just kind of disappeared on us for a few months. Lovely to see you and know that you're fine. Thank you so much for dropping in to say hello tonight. And I did lose weight. It's true. You've been gone for so long. I probably started exercising and losing weight right around the time you disappeared. 35 pounds of me disappeared. So yes, I've lost weight. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there.
No. Carl comes first. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, you were saying, what movie were you?
Dune, the new iteration of Dune. Yeah, the first part at least. I didn't go. I didn't go with my family to go see it because they wanted to go see it themselves. But I just saw it yesterday as well, and to me, although it kind of moves towards the book more compared to the David Lynch movie, I personally like the David Lynch movie for its campiness and all that. So, it. But as far as the character is concerned, I think they got the characters right on the money as far as the age, as well as the demeanors and stuff. So, and Jason Momoa is in there too. So for a short time, yeah. So
cool. Stevie B, what's up? Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Got in home just in time from visiting relatives to catch the last 10 minutes of It's a Wonderful Life and cry like a baby. Shit, you can even cry even just watching only the last 10 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Stevie. Happy Christmas Eve to you. Merry Christmas. Have a great time tomorrow. I appreciate the drop in, my friend. Please hit the like on the way out. You didn't get it yet. Okay, they're talking to each other.
Oh, Cab is going to be leaving in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Time to eat. Sorry, I've been so long. Yeah, no worries. Christmas, Merry Christmas, as I said to you, Carl. I hope to see you back every now and then. Drop in, even if it's just to say hello for a minute. We'd love to have you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a great one yourself. Every time Stevie B drops by in the chat, an angel gets his wings. Before I go, everyone, please hit the thumbs up. You have to. Even on Christmas Eve, you have to do it. I appreciate it, Nick. Thanks, man. Thank you for thank you, everybody, for getting me to 35. Appreciate that. Everybody that came and left, at least seems to have hit the like. So that's nice. Thank you. I gained the weight you lost. I've been working hard at it though. Hey, apologies, guys. You need to run. Okay, no worries. Many thanks. Oh, you're very welcome. Wish you all. Okay, thank you. Same to you. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging in. I didn't think you'd hang in that long. Thanks, Cap. Appreciate it. And just so you know, Cab, it's a shame. It's a shame that you have to go. But if you're still there, as you often do, stick around, even when you say for the second time that you were leaving, I'm going to show the art now. But it's okay. I can show you these few pages privately since. I'm allowed to show them. I can show them privately. So even if you miss it, we can do it through email. No worries. Merry Christmas to the girlfriend as well, by the way. Mahalo for dropping in. I appreciate it, Carl. Thank you. And also, Alberto, all right, folks, call it a night for me. Okay, no art for you. You're not going to see the art. Hope Santa's generous. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you very much. Happy New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, I should say, and also Christmas tomorrow. And I guess I should be saying, well, no, I'll wish everybody a happy New Year on my unboxing, pre-recorded unboxing video later in the week. Night, everyone. Good night to you, TJ.
Good night, TJ.
Thanks very much. Appreciate for dropping by. First iteration of Dune has so much in it, from character designs to the director's interpretation of the world. Just like the Lynch film, it will hold up for a long time. Wow, there's another lover of it. My friend Jeff Singh loved it too, so that's all I can say. Almost gone. We'll catch on Rewind. No worries. I'll show you the art. Oh yeah, you can see the art on Rewind, which I'm going to show right now. Okay,
you keep saying it.
I'm going to show it right now since I've caught up on the comments. So okay, everybody, here's a few pages of those Perkins. By the way, these aren't even the best pages. These are just the ones I'm allowed to show. You know, DC used them for promotional purposes. Yeah. So, okay. So first, I can show you.
I want to ask you, if we get 100 views or likes, will you show other pages?
I'm sorry?
If you hit another 70 more likes, would you show the other pages?
No. Because then he gets in trouble. He's fired and I'm fired.
Yeah.
But okay, so first I'll show you the cover, the first issue, the published version. I don't obviously have slides for this, since this is sort of on the fly. We're doing this, so that's the published version for everybody. And oh, sorry, I wanted to show you this, even though nobody's shown this. I'll show it really quickly, and then I'll make it disappear, only because it's different from what you just saw in the published version. That was actually the pitch art. When Mike and Dan, it's written by Dan Jurgens, when they pitched it to DC, that was he drew up a thing to sort of, include.
That was the pitch art, right?
Yeah. It's the pitch art. Yeah. And they passed on it, and that was 3 years ago or something like that. And then it was on the back burner, and they kind of brought it up again. And then, eventually they brought it up, and they said, "Yeah, we want to do it. Let's do it." And so then he decided he wanted to make a few changes to the pitch art and make that the first cover. So I'm just gonna let me delete what I just showed. And so the first cover art that I showed you in color one more time here. Here's the black and white. Of course, you can't, not only do you not get a sense of all the wash that the ink wash that Mike is putting into this project, you don't get a great sense of how great it looks at this size, but also you get absolutely no scale in terms of, really appreciating the art, knowing that it's going to be roughly 16.5 inches wide by 21 inches tall. So that's the cover.
That's quite big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's slightly larger than Twice Up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Marcus, if we do get another 70, I'll even get a colonoscopy tape.
So here's another page, everybody, and this is how the series starts. This is the opening setting of Gotham City, 1939. Again, it's this what he's doing. The attention to detail in this series is unlike anything he or almost anybody has done before. And you can't be. And that's why he decided to work on larger boards. And unfortunately, that's what you can't appreciate it. On a video like this on YouTube, it's you got to see it with a nice decent size scan.
Ruben.
Yeah.
Ruben, when did he start this whole process? I mean, you said a year ago or something like that?
He started working. He got the go-ahead, and he started working on this page. This is the first page of the first issue. A little over a year ago. I want to say it could be now at this point. It could be as long ago as maybe 15 months ago.
So was he working on Swamp Thing or the ending of Swamp Thing? Well, okay.
No. So he finished Swamp Thing.
Okay.
He did a couple of fill-ins or whatever in the interim, right?
Uh-huh.
Did 3 issues of Action Comics, Superman.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Did a few things here and there, and then start this project. And so he started working on this, and along the way, here and there, as he's waiting for example, like when he finishes his last page of script that he has available, and he's waiting for more script to come in from Dan Jurgens, DC will give him, let's say, okay, here's a cover to do, or oh, hey, can you pitch in, and I got some 5 pages of this book or 7 pages of that book. We could use some help on to hit the deadline or whatever.
I gotcha. Oh.
And so he has put this project aside every now and then just to do fill-in stuff here and there. But other than the little bits of and pieces of fill-ins and covers, variant covers that he's done, it's basically a year plus that he's been working on this so far.
So did they give him enough space and time to complete the book, or is it still to be completed?
Oh no, yeah, because think about it. That, like, typically the lead time when you jump onto a project, the average lead time is 2 months.
Right.
Like at Marvel, typically, it's a couple of months. Maybe if you're lucky, it's a new relaunch of a project, maybe you'll get 3 or 4 months.
Right.
So this they always knew that. See, this was being talked about at I want to say the end of 2022.
Okay.
And so then they knew when they started saying, okay, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. Mike understandably was like, well, but because what happened was they told him, you know what? I think we're going to put this on hold. We're going to still go ahead with it, but we'll put it on hold because next year in 2024, that's the 85th anniversary of Batman.
Right. Yeah.
So they're like, oh, it'll be great for that, to launch it on his anniversary, Okay. But they still basically said, okay, you can start the project. And so he basically had a year plus of lead time, And I imagine, he never told me this, I imagine that might have been part of the reason he also decided, hey, I've never had this much lead time before. I might go to town on that. First of all, it's Batman.
Right.
So he wanted to make it the best work of his career, obviously, like he always does with every project. But knowing that he had that much lead time, he's like, oh, I'm going to go to town on this. And not only go to town on it in terms of the amount of work he puts into every single panel, but also deciding to work at more than twice upsize.
Yeah.
It's insanity,
Has he ever done Batman before? I mean, fill in or just a
He's done a few Batman appearances, short story. He's done some Batman. So he's drawn Batman. When he was doing Lois Lane with Greg Rucka,
I remember that. Yeah,
a few issues that had Batman guest appearing or whatever, like cameo, in a few pages. Let me see. Hold on. I'm just going to go. Oh, what I like. Nostalgic. Hey, Dan. Pitch art. Cool. Yeah. Bob. It's got that Bob Kane flavor, right? There's great ink wash work. Great cars. Yeah. I love the cars. See, I love, the period vehicles, the period clothing, the period hairstyles, everything about it. I just love that period stuff. So, and with an artist with that type of style, who does, realism with heavy shadow work. It's just fantastic. So that's I'm all about that, Yeah. I mean, when you see this, since it was announced, this era fits the moodiness of Mike's art perfectly. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. Wow, atmospherics. Yep. Claim.
Marcus.
Freaking awesome. Good night, hon. When I saw Mike just doing fill-ins for DC, I thought that he was just playing out that string for DC. Oh, glad he's still there with them working on a hero character. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so let me show you another one, everybody. Again, these are the only ones I can show you, dictated by DC. And just since we're showing art, I know it's not getting covered up too much, but I'll just get rid of the banner while I show the art. And that way it's not distracting.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah. I didn't think it was a lot, but I guess it is a lot better.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
When you're looking at art, it's distracting, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But yeah, again, you can't.
I like his depth of field right there in the first panel. It's really nicely done.
Yeah, and that's Bruce Wayne, by the way.
Right.
With his Alfa Romeo GT Spider, I believe that is.
Looks like a Bugatti almost.
I mean, I'm not a big, car guy, so you
Yeah.
could be right. I don't know. But yeah, he's meeting up with Commissioner Gordon, who, since I haven't read the book, I don't know if he's commissioner at this time. It does take place in 1939. It's not his first case, but it's one of Batman's earliest cases. That's how they describe it,
So is this a case that already was in a story, or is this a new case of that era?
Yeah, no, I believe it's totally new, and it's not something. Right. Yeah, it's not something that they took from an early Batman or detective.
So it was not a reinterpretation of a era-based.
Right.
Story.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Right.
No, it is definitely not. Tony NYC, what's up, Tony? Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas Eve. But yeah, man, so happy to see you. So awesome. Thank you for taking the time to come in just to wish me a Merry Christmas. I appreciate it, buddy. I hope all is well, man. And yeah, have a great Christmas, rest of your Christmas Eve tonight, and an awesome Christmas tomorrow, man. Appreciate you, bud.
One of the guys is Marcus is saying, is that Bob Kane in the back?
Man,
which back?
Awesome.
Which back?
Oh, is that Bob Kane in the back? It is not. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure I would have noticed. In the back? Where, though?
I know. I'm just trying to look, but I can't see the picture too well here.
I've looked at this at a sort of larger size with
right.
and I can tell you I didn't recognize anybody here. So, yeah. He certainly does. Yeah. He never skimps on the backgrounds, and in this series, oh my God, I'm telling you, Brian, you're gonna freak the hell out when you see when I'm eventually able in March to show all the pages. Man, you're just gonna flee. It's not only page after page, but panel after panel, and there's not a line wasted. That's what the amazing thing is that it's not detail for the sake of detail, where like a lot of these guys who do the more of that tiny little line style, and they just like McFarlane or Brett Booth, those tiny little lines where oftentimes they just fill in the background with a bunch of tiny little lines for the sake of sort of filling it in. It's not that he's doing. He's just doing it in this series to keep with the authenticity and feel. He wants to pull you in, right? So as a reader, you're being pulled into 1939 Gotham, and he wants you to stay there. And so you're just going to see everything, like panel after panel. You can take hours looking at a single page, because one panel at a time, if you study it, you're just going to be looking at all the little details of the wall behind them. Like in the first panel, those guys in trench coats and fedoras, look at them carefully, hanging out in shadow behind them. The store signs you'll see. I'm telling you, every little attention to detail, unbelievable.
Ruben, who's the colorist for this? So
the colorist is going to be Mike Spicer, and he is the colorist who colored Mike Swamp Thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that the same person that did the color version?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I see the cover real quick? The color version? I don't know.
Absolutely. Ruben and Hart, will you guys buy the comic featuring this magnificent art? well, look, David, I always buy. Look, the reason I represent Mike, for his original artwork, it's because I was a fan first, and this is way back before he was inking himself and before he developed as an artist to where he is today. And I was already a fan, and I was buying art from him. And so then I later became, his rep. But I was already a fan. So yeah, I've been buying all his, whatever he does, I've been buying it, since I first was introduced to his work when he was exclusive at CrossGen Comics in the early 2000s. So yeah,
David, yes, I will buy it.
But I will say, I would like to get, even in comic book format, just because I've never bought a black label anyways, and it's nice to buy because black label format is like big.
Yeah.
It's like, if you notice, everybody, the pages are not the typical. Yes, they're larger than usual, a lot larger, but not just that. It's that it's wide in terms of the orientation, the perspective, right? The orientation. It's much wider versus the tall, right?
It's more landscape.
So right. So it looks more like getting closer to square than to rectangular is what I'm basically saying. So
quick question.
It would be cool. I would like to see the 3 issues and get the 3 issues separate. But what I really want is to get, and then what I really want after that is for hopefully Scott Doonbeer will come through. He'll come through and do the artist edition. He's already been in touch with Mike. So, oh my God, that would be the best thing ever. So I would love to do that. Oh.
Quick side question about Perkins. What was his first art gig?
His first art gig?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Perkins because I've only seen him when he was doing before Swamp Thing. He did, what was it he was doing?
Oh, you mean Future State Swamp Thing?
No, before that.
The Halloween special?
No, what was he a regular artist on before Swamp?
Oh, before the Swamp Thing? Oh gosh, now you're calling me.
I'm trying to remember, and
I'm bad at thinking in terms of in order. So it was
it'll come to me.
Lantern, let me think. Green Lanterns, then it went to Lois Lane. Lois Lane, let me see. Where Marcus probably is going to figure it out before I.
Marcus, The Stand, he says. I think that's where I actually remember seeing his work
for Marvel back in 2009.
Well, that's maybe his first one.
That you noticed?
No, that he noticed probably. That Marcus.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, I don't. Anyway, so.
But yeah.
Besides that, yeah.
So for you, it was only like a few years ago, basically.
Yeah. I haven't been on the Perkins wagon for a long time, so.
Yeah. That's fine. It's cool. It's always nice to have people sort of discover artists later.
Yeah, I mean, it's when he did Swamp Thing, I was like really amazed at his panel layout. So that was really nice to see.
Yeah. Stevie B. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know. Hubert. I don't know. That's what happens sometimes. And it's like Mike. He wasn't allowed to say what he was doing. He had to keep quiet for over a year. That's it, So you never know. Tony says, I like Perkins art on Carnage. I know you do, and you've got a great one. And he was at CrossGen before. And before CrossGen, he was an inker at DC in the 90s. In the back half of the 90s. And before that, from 93, he broke in 93, but for the first few years he was working, because he's British. So he was working in British comics.
Like Fleetway or
Fleetway or 2000 AD. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then he broke into American comics. I think the first thing he did for American comics was at DC when he was inking Rick Leonardi on Green Lantern versus Aliens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like 96 or 97 or something like that,
Oh.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, everybody, let me show you another page. Why don't we... so what was I doing? So 1, 2, 3. I showed you these 3. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Check this out. So I can tell you that this is the scene of the crime. I can't really tell you much. I mean, it's the scene of the crime. So that's a gaggle of reporters all, trying to move in with their cameras and, their pens and pads, notepads. And while a few police officers and Commissioner Gordon kind of hold them back because the scene of the crime is inside this restaurant.
Nick's and Joe's Spaghetti.
Nick's and Joe's Spaghetti House, Italian Spaghetti House.
Yeah.
So
shouldn't it be Dan's and Mike's?
What's that?
Should it be Dan's and Mike's Italian Spaghetti House?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be more appropriate.
Yes, but given that he's trying to keep the authenticity, I guess he doesn't want to take people out of the story by starting to make obvious like little hidden jokes like that, or not so hidden
Easter
jokes.
eggs. Come on, it's all good Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Let me see. Case solved. Garfield stole the lasagna.
Yes.
Nice one. Nice one. So
John got sent to jail.
I don't know for a fact, but this is page 3, so I'm assuming since it's a splash already, I'm thinking this is going to be the title and credit splash. That's what I would think, but don't know for a fact. Let me see. Stevie B says, I'm getting Mike Kaluta shadow flashbacks looking at this art. Cool. That's a nice compliment to give to Mike. So I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. Okay. Yeah, you guys will trip. You guys will really trip out when you see these in a few months, like larger. Yeah.
Quick question, Ruben.
Yeah,
man. Does he use models, or he taking historical pictures? And
so for he of course, for the authenticity, you cannot do buildings like this.
Right. It's yeah.
You have to use photography, of course.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's all hand drawn, but he takes photographs. Oftentimes he takes photographs himself when he can of older places. But otherwise, yeah, finds the photographs wherever. But then interprets the photographs.
Okay.
Yeah. But like on a page like this, like I asked him, I asked him about that, like what would the process be on a page like this? And he said it would be basically the buildings. You got to get it correct. You got to use a reference, right? I mean, otherwise it looks like buildings from comics back in the 60s and 70s. If you look back at that stuff, those buildings are, typical rectangles with square windows, little squares for windows, right? Like,
and the sign. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And that was even the best artists would do that, right? Like nobody really cared. Didn't think it was important, but he said, so he said for the people, he says he might do 1 or 2 from a photograph, but then he quickly gets the hang of it, the feel of it, and he can just freehand everything else for the people. Okay. I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it because he's there's a lot of detail in every person's face, and that's really nice.
Oh yeah. Oh my, I'm heart. Oh my God. When like, you know what? You and me, if you want, we can do a private chat on StreamYard sometime. If you want to get together with me privately like this, I'll show. Mind you, it's not. I mean, I can show it up to the camera, but either way, when you see the scans, I'm telling you, if you can already tell that this is nice just from this tiny thumbnail, I'm telling you, you're gonna flip your lid when you see proper size images. It's crazy.
Well, what I'm seeing is the fact that he has light against shadow, and then he differentiates everybody's jackets or suits and hats, and just makes it so that everybody kind of peeks out, and they don't look like one piece of mass of people. You can tell that each individual person's there, kind of thing.
Yes,
it's really nicely done.
Yeah, exactly. And Mark. I agree, and I love Road to Perdition. I've got art from that series, so I agree with you. I would, you'd be the perfect choice to do that type of material. Okay, so sorry, buddy. I know it looks weird when both of our faces are covered. That
we're just kissing behind the art. Don't tell Vivian.
It's like.
Oh wait. Sorry, wrong direction.
Okay, everybody.
Mark is going to
you. This is the show. As if the show didn't go off the rails long ago already. Oscopies, right?
As soon as I show up, that's what happens.
Yeah. This is what you do to the show, right?
Yeah.
So here we got this one. So here you see Gordon and one of his, copper friends in the top panel, and they're on the old, all that old technology,
Right.
whatever you call that stuff.
Transistors and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Diodes. Yeah.
And you can see right underneath in the second panel, Batman's talking on his, right, which looks really, really old. But his equipment looks maybe potentially better than theirs.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he's at the money, right? He's got all the toys.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm telling you, what I love most, like in so many of these pages, is all everything, like the backgrounds, like the buildings, the cars, the signs, like, oh my god, it's the lighting effects that he creates. That's the first Batmobile right there in the bottom panel.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that's the first Batmobile. Technically, I guess you call it a Batmobile. After this, I'll be ready for Mike to tackle the perfect Elseworlds tale for him. Batman pursues Jack the Ripper in Victorian London. I would love it. Get on his Facebook page and tell him that you'd love to see that. Not that he has any power to really make it happen, but if he likes the idea, he could potentially talk to DC about it, you know? So it's a gangland story. Like I said, Marcus, I haven't read it, so I don't really know. I can tell you that because it's 1939, yes, and this goes to what I'm just going to say now, David, says even the Bat Belt is drawn 30s era. Yes, because it's 1939, this is, again, it's so early on. So this is Batman without his tricks. Like, he's got the belt, but what he basically has is like those pellets for smoke grenades, smoke bombs
and stuff like
the simple stuff like that, as far as I know. So everything is trying to be, they're trying to keep in mind that everything has to be very much fitting for the 1939, you know? So exactly, Marcus, no shark repellent in this one. Exactly. Yeah. And so what I was going to say, Marcus, about the gangland story question. So I haven't read it, but I can say that, yeah, I mean, you can see by some of the imagery, you know, the guys with the Tommy guns on the cover, it looks like it's that kind of stuff, which I love. Oh God, I love those gangster movies from the 30s, 40s, 50s. Love that. But you know, I can tell you also that because it's 1939, it's a story that it doesn't involve. They wanted to keep it reality based, so there's no super villain in this. You know, so you're not going to see the Joker or Two-Face or whatever, as much as I would have loved to have seen some classic villain, just because of all the work he's putting into this. I just thought, oh my God, that'd be so killer. But for this story, yeah, it's not super villain. You know, the bad people are not super villains. I can tell you that.
But they could be a mastermind, a criminal mastermind, things like that.
Yeah, that's it, right? I don't know. Yeah. You know, I mean, I've seen pages, right? So I kind of see the villain. I just can't really say anything about him.
Right.
You know, yeah. And
he looks just like said it's a him now.
Yeah, it's a him. It's a him, and he looks like kind of a normal person, whatever. But anyways, I can say a little bit. Something else I can't though, because none of these have images, so I got to keep it quiet.
Keep it quiet, yeah.
On that phone, the only people who you could dial up would probably be Broderick Crawford and Jack Webb. Exactly. But even they were probably babies at the time, so who knows, you know? Definitely no walking sharks in this one. Yeah, sorry to disappoint, you know? One less sale to Marcus. But, okay, let me remove this one. And let me show you the last one. So this last one, I can tell you, it's classic. It's a classic scene, and one of my favorite pages in the book because it's just so epitomizing of Batman in the early years, with him and his beginning his relationship with Commissioner Gordon, and that's this one. And this just blew my fucking mind.
Oh yeah.
Like, just, oh my God. And I'm telling you, and listen, you know what's going to sell this page obviously is the bottom panel, but I have spent, I can't even tell you, just privately on my own, looking just in the first panel, I've studied that panel at least for an hour. like over different periods. I just keep going back to it. And I wish I could show this larger, to you guys, but just everything from the fan next to him, how Gordon is in shadow in the first panel with the smoke from the cigarette or whatever he's smoking, right? A little bit of shadow, how it reflects from outside onto the horizontal blinds. The fact that they look like actual horizontal blinds. It's not just a bunch of lines, right? Behind that cool fan, there's all this super tiny details to show all the dials and the little lights on the electronic equipment that he's got behind him. And then he's got like what appears to be records on the shelf, little posters of like wanted posters. Like he's got, and it's really almost really hard to see, but in front of Gordon on the white area on the table in front of him, the ashtray, with butt cigarette butt, like it's just phenomenal, and of course the inset panel right in the middle. It's just the shadow work, the smoke. Oh my god!
Do you know how much percentage reduction it is to the comic book? Because all those little bits and pieces that you're talking about will reduce and will kind of close up if the comic.
Well, but of course, but don't forget the Black Label comics are printed at larger than regular comic size.
Right, but I'm just saying percentage-wise for his art size to the comic books Black Label size. Do you know what percentage reduction that is?
I don't know the percentage because I don't really know the actual numbers for the Black Label comic book. Width, right? And length and width or whatever. So that means if I had that, then we can just quickly I'm just thinking because you're mentioning all these little bits and pieces, and I like the fact that Perkins is putting all that detail into it. But sometimes we've seen it in other comic book art where the artist went through, put stuff in the background, and then everything gets muddy at the end of the day when they reduce it to the comic book size. And then when you buy the comic book art, you're kind of like, wow, all this art detail is lost because the comic book went to shit. Or no, exactly.
I get or the coloring fucked it up.
Absolutely. I'm totally with you. But no, I'm sure it'll be fine. I would think, and Mike thinks about those things, right? He's conscious of like, it's going to be bigger than the standard 7x10 comic book size, whatever. So I know. Should I waste my time on putting these little details, or is it going to be washed out, because of the size, right?
Well, he's probably done reduction comps or something like that, just to see what the reduction rate would be. I mean, as an artist, that's what you'd want to do to see how your end product would be.
Sure, I would think so. And of course, Marcus always notices these things. Who pulled up the blinds for Batman? Let me just tell you, there is such a thing, Marcus, in comic books, and in movies and in novels, such as artistic. Well, first of all, suspension of disbelief, artistic liberty, though, right? So just go with it. All right, just go with it. It's the visuals you want, anyways. How lame would it be if you had to actually show the character going like this, putting the blinds out of the way?
Screws up the first time.
if he does that, then he can't make a cool pose at the entrance, right?
And what's blowing the cape in, right?
Exactly. Whatever blows the cape ever as far and high and beautifully as it ever does, right?
Well, I mean, I've seen Kelly Jones put the cape like 6 feet into the air, No,
a lot of almost every artist at one point or another has. Holy Pall Mall Batman, that's some smoky art. It sure is. And Dan says, notice the light from open window lights. The face.
I
too. You're noticing, Dan. Ian, wow.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Happy Christmas Eve, my friend, and happy Merry Christmas for tomorrow. Dan says, smoke consistently blows behind character as window opens. Well, exactly. That's what happens with a cool character like Batman. Anybody with a cape, really, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would never look cool, you know? Merry Christmas from Northern California. Music Soma.
I have no idea what that is.
Music Soma. It sounds vaguely familiar. Have you been here before a long time ago? If you have, it hasn't been in a long time. We know each other. Music Soma.
You know people from Northern California?
Oh, yeah. By the way, where are you from?
Southern California.
Yeah. But lovely to see you drop in, Music Soma. And first panel, what university did Gordon attend? Can you make it out? Well, not at this size, that's for sure. That's funny. Marcus, yeah, that tip, tap, tap for the window opening. Yeah, right there in the second panel. But Gordon would have heard the string pull. I get it, Marcus. Geez. So cool, Ruben, you could share this art. Hey, my pleasure. No, I've been dying for over a year, wishing I could show this to a bunch of people, you know? So I'm still kind of burning that I can't show it. It's only a few pages I can show, you know? I want to show them all, and we'll show them large, you know? So live stream Santa coming into your place. I wish he was coming into my place. Leave me a few gifts. Why not? But yeah, that's it, everybody. That's all I can show you. That's all I have. That's all that's been put out there by DC. So that's all I can do for that. And yeah, it's like I said, March 5th is the on sale date. So it's called The Batman First Night. Night with a K. Yeah, black label and 46 pages. Yeah, 3 issues, 46 pages each. So like the equivalent of a 6-issue kind of miniseries. So, if you will, a double-sized 3-issue miniseries.
So the 3 issues are in the can. They're all done. They're all ready. Finished.
Believe it or not, he's actually still working on issue 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I don't know where in issue 3 he is. We haven't talked for a while about that.
Okay.
But believe it or not, yeah. So it's wild, right?
Yeah. It's like
when you think about how long ago he started, right?
Right, but it's going to be a wild ride to read that. That's going to be really cool.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, it should be a gas. Listen, I enjoyed it was an 8-issue arc of Green Lanterns when he first went to DC. That's the first thing he did, and it was written by Dan Jurgens. And I thought it was fun. You know, I thought it was a fun. Mind you, it featured Cyborg Superman as the antagonist, who's one of my favorites, so that helps. But I like the way he writes in terms of because he's an artist himself, Dan.
Right.
I like how he writes. You can tell he thinks as an artist, the way he paces and writes and describes how the panels should be laid out, how he would lay them out. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. So he's doing the breakdowns essentially just with words.
Yeah. And in fact, that's how most comics have been done for decades now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The so-called Marvel method, where it's just, oh yeah, whatever. Here's a basic plot, or whatever. Yeah, you go figure out all the layouts and stuff. That hasn't happened in a long, decades.
Yeah, I remember Giffen would be breaking down a lot of things and then just having the artist go over his real rough sketches.
Right. That's some guys want to do it. In some cases, the penciler is who the editor wants to hire, but they know he can't meet a monthly deadline unless he has some help.
Right.
So, because what people don't realize is a lot for the penciler. The longest part of not the longest, but a big part of what kills your time every day that you got to draw a page is the thinking that goes into before you even start putting down pencil to paper. It's all the thinking as you're looking over the script for that page, and then you gotta, even though the writer says, because it's like a suggestion, the writer will say, oh, I'm thinking of 6 panels for this one. And, okay, first panel, this person's talking to that person. Second panel, this guy says this, that, and the other. Third panel, I'm thinking of, I don't know, maybe like a larger panel, maybe splashy. I don't know. Do what you think is best. Or, that's kind of how they do it, But the artist ultimately still has to figure out, based on the script, right, the dialogue that he includes for every panel, you still got to think, okay, how many people are in this panel? What are they saying again now? How is this guy or that woman speaking to that person? Because then that dictates how you're going to, for what camera angle you're going to shoot the scene from, because of how the balloon placement has to read from left to right properly. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Up and down. So all that stuff has to be thought out well in advance before you start actually drawing anything, Yeah.
I've seen thumbnails. I've seen thumbnails of page layouts of artists, how they work every day. They do that first before they even get to the sketching part, So
and exactly, and that's what like Keith Giffen did. When you see Keith Giffen, or a more famous example would be Frank Miller on Daredevil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end of the run, where you might have heard that Miller only did the layouts, and then Klaus, right? Klaus did the finishes, and so there's a bunch of issues. There's several issues in existence for where in the original art, it's all Klaus pencils and inks. Okay. What Miller did was he did what Giffen did. He takes an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and he roughly sketches out like stick figure type layouts.
Oh, okay.
And that's what he handed over to Klaus.
See, I always thought that Klaus was doing heavy-handed inking at that point. So
no.
I never knew this. This is new to me.
Yeah.
So
interesting. There we go. I'm happy to spread.
Yeah, I always thought that Frank was just, getting less and less involved, and he would just let Klaus just do his heavy-handedness. Because I know that Klaus is an artist in his own right.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. And I always could tell. I have a keen enough eye. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
That I always could tell.
Thank you.
when I bought those were recent back issues for me.
Oh, okay.
I started buying Daredevil with 194 or 6 or something like that. So I went back and bought a few of those last Miller issues, and I was like, only layouts. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and again, it helps that I was already a Klaus fan.
Mm-hmm.
Loved his work, his inks especially, and I could just see. I was like, this looks very Klaus. Like if Miller did layouts, then he must have just done stick figure type, really, really basic layouts for him, because the pencils and inks look it just looks like it's Klaus himself,
Right. Okay.
And that's, I was right all along, except what I didn't know until many years later when I got into original art, or maybe even before that, but probably by reading like a prozine, like Amazing Hero. Mm-hmm. So probably some interview by either Klaus or Miller, probably that's what it was in an interview, that, I only provided layouts for Klaus on, these sheets of paper, and I would hand him the sheets of paper and he would blow them up on the a light box.
Yeah.
Right. He would just light box them at larger size onto the board. So what you're getting on those original boards is technically no Miller didn't touch those, Miller didn't touch those.
As far as value is concerned, does this affect anything?
It should, but it doesn't, because like yourself, most people really didn't know about this.
Oh, okay.
For so long. So when the original art hobby started to develop itself in the late 90s into the early 2000s, I was, I was on Comic Art L, when the topic would come up, somebody would bring up the topic of, oh, does anybody know, like Miller, like what issue did he do? Only layouts or whatever. And then I would chime in and explain how they actually worked. And then, of course, as I expected, people who owned those pages that Miller didn't actually touch
yelled at you.
Not that they yelled at me, but they don't want to be. First of all, it was probably news to them as well.
Right. Yeah.
And you know how it goes in this hobby. When you spend a lot of money, you don't want to be and you find something out that that probably should lessen the value of your art. You don't want to be the last guy holding the bag, right? So people would keep hush hush. People would, purposely not spread the word. I would see these pages come up for sale, and I would tell because it wouldn't be mentioned. And I would say to these people, hey, just so I don't know if you know, just so you know, in case, in the interest of full disclosure, because that's what I like. Maybe you may not like it, but I just want you to know that this is how it worked. And so Miller didn't even touch these pages. And I would get people either ignoring me, telling me off, like, oh, what do you know? How the fuck would you know? What do you know? Whatever. And that's it. And of course, the dealers, those were just collectors. And then the dealers would get their hands on them. And, I told a few guys, and they didn't really take it well. And I would see people selling their pages who I had told later on, trying to sell them. They wouldn't mention it. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because there's nothing I can do that's going to change anything. And it's never going to change. There's way too many people, right, who don't know, have never known. And for all intents and purposes, everybody wants to believe that Miller, at least because he did layouts, everybody wants to believe that he did the layouts on those pages. Mm-hmm. Okay, whatever. So, yeah. And you know what, Hart? To this day, in fact, it happened recently at auction. There was a page, one of those pages from one of those issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no Miller pencils on it. No, not even rough layouts. But they don't talk about that. They just say, oh, Miller did the layouts for this, and Klaus did the finishes, whatever. It still went for a ridiculous amount of money. Like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
wait a minute. The Miller sketches that I inked myself are worth nothing? You're saying?
That's precisely what I'm telling you. Your Miller layouts, you better not cry. Better not pout, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you way.
Yeah, way.
And Klaus is inking around. I like that.
Those D&D issues were Miller light, yeah.
Yes. I mean, they're still great. They were still really great. I mean, Klaus was man, he was in a groove because of, inking Miller on that run for so long. He was in a groove. So he did a fantastic job finishing the. I mean, the layouts are still typical looking, dynamic, cinematic Miller layouts because he did lay it out. But again, that's for the comic book fans, right? For the original art people, they kind of you need to know. Like if you're really a student of the hobby, you should know that. Like, the reality is the boards don't have Miller's actual layouts.
Right. But it's also similar to the some penciler gets inked by by Kevin Nolan.
Right.
So the art is worth more because Kevin inked it, right? Because Kevin is heavy-handed and
yeah, but that only sort of stands when, and we've talked about this on the show before, that only actually goes in situations where the penciler is a name whose name doesn't carry a premium, whose original art doesn't carry a premium,
right?
Because of his name. So in other words, and again, I don't want to harp on him. I'm not trying to denigrate the guy. I enjoyed his work, when I was reading, collecting. But Ed Hennigan, a perfect name.
Who?
Ed Hennigan.
Oh, Ed Hennigan. Yes,
right. Ed Hennigan doesn't He doesn't have a style that that there's anything particular about it that as soon as you see the line art, you're like, oh, Ed Hannigan. You would have to always look at the credits, you know. Sometimes with Dick Giordano's pencils, sometimes it looked that way. You didn't know who penciled it. Keith Pollard. There's just, you know, guys with very what I always refer to as generic penciling styles. There's nothing about it.
I mean,
stands out, you know.
They're the guys that filled in issues and stuff like that, I would imagine, right?
Not always. No. I mean, Keith Pollard had nice runs on Thor and Fantastic Four, and yeah, he had a long career as a monthly artist. But again, not everybody has a style where there's something about it that, like, oh wow, you can really see that he does these types of lines this way, or the biceps. Oh, you can always tell, or the way he does faces. You know, with your George Perez, John Burns, and Kirby's, you know, who have very distinct styles, you know.
Right.
But some guys don't. So over those pencilers, then those pages end up being worth essentially what it would be worth if, like, Kevin Nolan had penciled and inked it.
Right. Yeah.
Because his is the only style that you see anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little bit different when, for example, by the way, everybody, 12:01, it is officially Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
On the East Coast, on the East Coast.
Right.
But it's a little bit different when, for example, you have, like, in this day and age, right? Wolverine pages from the regular series are expensive. Okay, from the
you mean the Buscema pages?
Yeah. From the first issue. Okay, so John Buscema is penciling, and then Sienkiewicz comes on as inker.
Yeah.
Although I guess I should say Buscema was, like, really rough penciling. It wasn't, you know, even when he did pencils, not layouts, but pencils, John's work is very sparse. It was always very sparse. There was a lot for the inker to do. Okay.
Yeah.
You really, the inker always had to kind of be a finisher and tighten up the pencils, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Sienkiewicz comes on, and so now you're talking about, like, in this day and age, you're talking about selling Wolverine pages. So you got the Wolverine premium, that, you know, the Wolverine pages from 30 whatever years ago. Then you got John Buscema, the legend, right? John Buscema, whatever his value goes for. But then Sienkiewicz's value is sky high as well now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. You can't really say who's getting the value. Like, why are these Wolverine pages costing what they cost? Mm-hmm. You can't say, oh, because Sienkiewicz inked it. Well, no, because Buscema himself has a big enough name that comes with a very expensive premium. You know what I mean? So I think on those pages, it's a combination of people. Some people buy them just because, oh, they love Wolverine and they remember buying the comics, the Wolverine comics from that series, right? Some people buy the art now because, wow, it's Wolverine and it's John Buscema. I love John Buscema. And other people love it because, well, Buscema, very rough, very, very loose, rough pencils. So I don't really care for that, but I love Sienkiewicz. So I'll buy the Sienkiewicz inks pages. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's a combination of everybody, and all those people combined to just kind of put the prices up into the stratosphere, you know?
Yeah.
So that's it. Yes, Merry Christmas, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, so that's the thing. But yeah, guys like that, guys like him, guys who are usually pencilers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Nolan and Sienkiewicz, and, you know, there's a number of guys like that. Like when George Perez inks somebody who, okay, an example on Wonder Woman, after he left the penciling the book for a while, Cynthia Martin took over the pencils.
I remember that. Yep.
You remember Cynthia Martin?
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened.
Star Wars. Yeah. She was working on Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So she has a nondescript style. It's not, you know, I guess, like a solid storyteller, but not the kind of, nothing about the pencil, the line work that makes you go, holy shit, she's going to be like the at the lines, man. She's going to be the hottest thing soon, you know, if they give her a big book, you know? No. So all of a sudden, George does, let's say, a cover where Cynthia Martin penciled it, but he inked it, right? He decided to come on and ink the book for a month. Well, the original art to that cover is going to sell for a lot more than if it was just a Cynthia Martin penciled and inked.
Right. Yeah.
You understand? Because the finished line work actually looks like George. You know, if you didn't know that because of the credits or the signature,
right,
Cynthia Martin had penciled the cover. In fact, you would think George penciled and inked it.
Right.
Right. Everybody would just, that just looks purely George when he inks it. Right. It's that tight, you know? So yeah, so that's that. I was wondering if somebody was saying something before, or did I forget something?
I think we're looking at Miller, Jansen Page versus Jansen Page. You can see the clear difference. Yeah, that's what David said. So it's pretty much, you know, he's comparing Miller with Jansen or Miller light Jansen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's it. What else is happening? It is. I know for the East Coast, it's a little after midnight. I don't know. I mean, is everybody still want to talk, or do you just want to chat, or go to bed for waking up with the kids tomorrow, or what do you guys want to do? We can call it.
Who cares about the kids? Let them eat cake.
Yeah. Exactly. What do you? I always leave it usually to you guys in the chat. I mean, there's still. Not that many, but there's still 16, 17. Somebody just popped in at this very second. Thank you, whoever you are who just popped in. To you who just popped in, number 17. I'm asking all the chatters to just let us know if we should call it a night, given that it is Christmas tomorrow, and some people, you know, probably do want to get to bed. Or if you guys want to still talk a little bit. Anybody want to talk about anything in particular? I noticed there haven't been there's only been one comment in the last 5 minutes, so I'm thinking.
Well, I have a question for you.
Chatters are getting tired. Hold on, let me just read Stevie B's comment. So I'm finding that I'm a bit more nostalgic about original art, and will collect a page from an artist I may not have enjoyed in a comic book growing up, but I appreciate them now. Yeah, that happens though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over time, sometimes you start to grow an appreciation for certain artists, and it's happened to me. I never used to like artists with more cartoonier styles, so I never, in the early days, I like of his career, I didn't care much for artists like Ed McGuinness, for example. What's his name? Darwin Cook. Now I was.
How about Ringo?
Actually, I used to put him and McGuinness. I used to kind of confuse sometimes.
Right.
Not in terms of what their art looks like, but because they were two very prominent guys doing cartoony style.
Right. Yeah.
And what I mean by confuse is every time I'd be talking to somebody, and this topic would come up, and I'd want to, like, for example, if I wanted to say, I'm not into the cartoony stuff. I like realism, like that guy, that new guy. And let's say I'm thinking of McGuinness.
Right.
Hey, and I would say that guy, what's his name there? Ringo or whatever. He did that book, whatever. And I'd be like, no, he didn't do that book. Ed McGuinness did that book. I'm like, huh? What? Oh, yeah, but that's that other cartoony guy. Right. You know, and then when I'd be trying to think of McGuinness, I'd be actually meaning to say Ringo, whatever. But yeah. No, they obviously have clearly distinct styles, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just that I was always just more of a realist. But like I said, I grew to appreciate cartoonier stuff over the years. Same thing with Darwin and Bruce Timm. Never really cared about that stuff. Again, I could tell that, and I love animation work. I love guys who were animators. I love their ability just to freehand, the way they just the fluidity and how they draw and so quickly. It's amazing. So I could recognize that Tim's work was brilliant, but as a collector, it didn't grab me. because
you,
it's not realism, you know.
So you don't have any in your collection, private collection. You don't have anything like Batman Adventures or Superman Adventures or
No,
nothing of those. Okay.
no.
Do you have anything that comes close to cartoony that you would say is like bordering?
Wow, good question, man. Oh,
I mean, because Ringo is. Did you learn to like Ringo, or you just still think that he was too cartoony for you?
Oh no. I learned to enjoy Ringo's work and McGuinness, although I prefer McGuinness's approach more than Ringo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think McGuinness is a very thick lined person. I mean, he really has some thick lines, whereas Ringo was very animation. His lines were very uniform in shape most of the times. Who's talking right now?
I still like them. I still like them though. Stevie B's got to get to rapping. So I'm not up till 3 a.m. I appreciate it, Stevie B. Enjoy the Jeff and the Last Hour Plus, and I hope you have happy holidays to you too, man. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Have a great day tomorrow, man. Thanks for hanging out.
What's this CGC scandal, Marcus?
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
I got a gift idea for next year. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're probably thinking that he should send you a animation page now.
That's the problem. I was trying to avoid mentioning it because he's always sending me stuff, and I don't want to.
Bugs Bunny, come on, Bugs Bunny will be your next big thing.
Oh man. Thank you, Marcus. You know I love you. You know that, and I appreciate you. So talk about the CGC scandal.
I have no idea.
CGC scandal? Did you get slammed? Nice. We can't, Marcus, because I'm aware of what you're talking about, but because you can't get on the screen in the studio with us, we would need you to talk about it because
Come on, Marcus.
I don't really understand it. So I know what you're talking about because I even watched a short YouTube video about it. Because somebody said, "Oh, it happened again." All I can say, I'll tell you this, Hart. So apparently, there's some kind of a new kind of scam that can happen now. Where
it ain't so.
They apparently can look. Like I said, it was a short video. I didn't get enough information, so some of the things I'm saying are assumptions on my part.
Okay, all right.
So I may be wrong. But apparently, people can crack open the case, which people have been doing it for years. If they don't like the grade, they'll crack it open and they'll send it back in, whatever.
Right.
But apparently, they'll crack it open and resend it in. And apparently, I don't even know how to explain this. There's two different serial numbers. No, the same serial number for two different serial numbers, but it's the same comic book. I don't know. It was just
what you're talking about. The case they put it into another case.
It's like look, what the guy was saying was they cracked it out and then they sent it back in. But again, it was such a brief video. There was so much he didn't say. Like, oh, they sent it back in, and I'm thinking, yeah, so what? The CGC would have to be in on the scam. Apparently, the impression I got was that the scam is being pulled by the people who buy the books, not CGC. But the collectors are just mad that CGC is not doing something to stop it.
Oh, okay. There's something in the chat right now. Marcus says they could swap the damaged book, and Daniel saying they repress, flatten, then get a higher grade.
Get my head around this. How DC and Marvel could let artists like Jason Favre, blah, 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 have gone to a new comic setup called Ghost Machine. I don't even know what that is, David. I'm sorry to tell you. Sorry. Don't even know what that is, but I guess some independent thing, I guess. Oh, well, yeah. Well, I guess we're talking a little bit about it though now. They could swap it damaged. Right. It's all about, getting a book to be a higher grade, something like that.
Then selling it off. Is that what you're doing? I mean, they're doing?
Okay, so Dan's saying they repress it, flatten it, right, so that to make it look better. Oh, right. So it's the same book, right. So let's say, for example, like in the video I saw, the guy said, well, look, You take this book and it's 8.0, or sorry, was it 8.5? 8.5. And then you take it out, and then you like you said, you flatten, and by pressing it, you press it, clean it if it needs cleaning.
Right.
And then you send it in, and now the 8.5, it became an 8.2 or something like that. See, but that's the thing. That's the thing is that's been going on for a long time. So I'm not sure.
Wait. The 8.2 goes down? You said 8.5 to 8.2.
Oh, I'm sorry, a 9.2.
Oh, okay. It's like,
sorry.
I'm like, wait a minute, worst grade?
Okay. See, because like I said, there's a lot of things that weren't mentioned in the video. So Marcus, now he's filling in some pieces. Okay, so the scam, I guess, is that, but hold on. It's being resent. It's being opened, and the now raw, and it's being sent in again to CGC. So now CGC puts it again into a plastic holder. They send it back to you. Okay, let's say you're cleaning and whatever, pressing, made it a higher grade. That's great. Okay, you got a higher grade. But I'm still not understanding what the problem is.
I think it's
I know they're cracking. What they're doing is cracking open. I know that, but that's the collector, right?
No, Marcus has just said, put a worse book in and reseal it. So in other words, the grade 9.2, they throw a bad one in there and then they sell it.
Right. They take another copy and stick it into the original holder with the lower grade. Right. Which is a lower grade copy. Right. Exactly. Right.
Okay. So whoever's buying these CGCs thinks that they're getting a higher grade, but they're not, because they believe that it's been sealed and it's been graded properly.
Exactly. And because most people are not collectors, they're speculators, let's be honest.
Right.
They're really speculating on the number on that label. That's it. That's it. Right? They take that as gospel. It doesn't matter that the book looks a certain way. Like, I've seen plenty. Like, I'm not even a comic guy anymore. But even me, out of curiosity, I've gone online and I've picked like a Hulk 181, for example. And I found a bunch of copies, and I'm like, comparing, like, let's say, I'll pick a grade. Let me pick an 8.5, and let me see as many as I can. And like, you could do that on Heritage, right, in the archives.
Right.
And you can see that because of how the printing is. Some copies have lighter colors. Some have richer colors, brighter colors. That alone makes one more appealing than the other, which to me would make it enough of a difference. Or I'd buy that one an 8.5 because it's bright red and yellow. Whereas this one looks like it's faded, right? But it's still marked as at the same exact grade, right?
There's more information coming down from Marcus.
Okay.
And Comic Art Channel.
When they reholder, they keep the same grade paper on the top. Okay, yeah, the label. And only change the case. Oh, you mean CGC? When they send it into CGC. Oh, because they're not asking to regrade. They're not asking to regrade. Okay,
they're asking for.
They're not asking to regrade. These are people that just say, "Oh, my, can you please give me maybe because it's scratched. My case is scratched. I'd like a new case. Can you put another case on it? I'll pay you the 20 or whatever, whatever, to put it right." Because when they don't regrade it, when you're only paying them to recase it, that's true. They're just going to keep the piece. They're not going to print out a new label, right?
Right.
So I can see them. Okay, so let's say that's an example, just to make sure we understand it. If the collector, since it's the collector that's pulling the scam, the collector has, let's say, an 8.0 Hulk 181. 8.0, okay? Got an 8.0 Hulk 181. He cracks it open. I guess like Dan was saying, let's say he puts it into better condition. He sends it in, but it's not being sent in for regrading. So why do you need to press it and make it better condition? Okay, but anyways, we'll get to that. You send it in, it gets recased with the same label. Again, it's an 8.0, and it comes back. So
I don't know if you're on the right track there.
Right. Okay,
I have
okay,
a feeling that we're talking about 2 copies, not just one.
So they have. Oh, I see. So you've got to have 2 copies. The scam is that you have to have 2 copies of the same book, and they crack the label. Crack the label only.
See, this is why we would need you, Marcus. I mean, on here.
Yeah,
We're kind of in the dark.
Jason. I know this is out of the blue. Any chance you'd be willing to come on, even just for a few minutes?
Yes, somebody needs to explain this.
Explain this to us. I would love that, even if just for a few minutes, and then you can leave. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to be a crook. You know, this is smarter than the average bear kind of things. Cracking this stuff.
Get good copy. So we have 2 copies. Submit for reholder with a better label. I don't know what you mean by better label. Get good copy. Resubmit it. Okay.
Yes, Daniel, that you're right. This is why OA makes great collectibles. You don't have to worry about any kind of grading.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't ever grade your artwork. Don't get convinced by CGC.
Yes.
Nobody out there.
Yes, please. Oh, please, God, please. That's
once that happens, it's going to be the end of the market.
Well, everybody listening knows, or almost everybody knows. I've said many times that I'm wanting to stop. Obviously, the addiction keeps me going, but I do want to stop. I'm trying to stop. I buy less. I'm not actively seeking out stuff. I tend to buy only when it kind of art passes in front of my face. I would tell you that would be great for me. It wouldn't be great for the hobby, but if I needed anything to make me finally, I think, get sickened enough by it to make me go, okay, I'm done now. I quit, just like I did with comics in 1993. That would be it. If I start not if CGC announces, okay, 11 by 17 standard art, we're now taking them in for grading or whatever. That wouldn't be enough. To me, it would be if I saw collectors actually say, "Oh yeah,
mine's a 9.8."
Yeah, I'm sending mine in. If I start seeing collectors posting slab shit, that would be it for me. I'm quitting, and I'll stick around in the hobby as an observer and still have fun on YouTube and shit. But that's it. I would not. I'm done. I'm done collecting. That's it.
Well, then you have the people that are doing the what is it? The Miller Lite and Jansen pages. They have to actually say that they have Jansen only pages. That'll screw up everybody.
And that's the thing with all this talk about over the years with CGC missing a lot of things. There's another scam happening now, and I don't want to just open up a can of worms, especially since, again, I'm not a comic guy, and also I again don't know much about the details about this stuff. But there's another kind of scam, not a scam. I think it's just it's just bitching about CGC because there's some comics. I don't know if this was from the 70s or 80s or whatever. There's something inside the comic called, it's like an advertisement, an insert.
Oh, it's the jewelers.
Oh, yes. Mark Jeweler.
Mark. I remember this long time ago. I never had any of those issues because they were really hard to find and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah. So they call it the Mark Jewelers insert, and apparently lately a lot of people are getting comics slabbed, and CGC is not even checking for this insert. They're just putting the grade, and they're saying Mark Jewelers insert, even though there's no insert on the inside.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, how do you miss something like that,
Yeah.
But Jason says, okay, so basically they take a CGC 9.8 and an 8.5. They crack out labels. So you can crack, see, this is what I don't know. Because I know people, my friend next door, Robert, he's a comic guy, and he's cracked open books before because he just likes to get the grade, and then he wants to read the comic, and he cracks them open.
That's funny.
He wants the grade, but then he wants to be able to still look at it.
So let me ask you this. Does he put it in a backing board and just puts the grade on it?
Yeah, exactly. He sticks it in a backing board in a regular kind of bag, and he keeps he keeps the CGC
A label. Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
No, that's it. Okay.
Actually, we should all do that.
So that's the thing is that I knew that people for years have been cracking open, right, to get the book out.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is that you're able to crack it now and only pull out the label.
Probably because the seal is not so tight on the top, maybe.
But apparently, all these years, everybody always said, "Oh, it's a tamper proof." It was always tamper proof, and in order, like if you tampered with it, it would crack, and you could see that it was cracked open. You know what I mean? So there was no way to really tamper with it.
Never say never.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody figured that out. So okay, so they take two, they crack out the labels, and they reholder the 8.5 and send in the 9.8. Oh, 9.8.
What does the word reholder mean? I'm not getting this.
Replastify, recase.
Okay. All right.
But what I don't get, guys, is okay. I know when they're not, when you're only sending in to recase a book, of course it costs money, and you're only paying for that, so that's what they're going to do. However, I used to hear that they used to, like, if you send in a book for, oh, my case is cracked, for example, I need to recase it because it's cracked. I used to hear stories from people saying, oh, I sent it in, and then it came back with a different grade, and it was lower than the one I sent in.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So they would regrade it. Because I don't know why they didn't get paid to regrade it, but apparently they would regrade the books even if you were only sending it in to get recased. So the 9.8 book that can just have it regraded at 9.8, right? It all stems from the fact that people can now receive. Okay, so this is what I want to get at. Thank you.
Okay.
This is what I want to get at. So you're saying you can confirm somebody has figured out a way to open and reseal the cases, and they don't appear to be tampered with, I guess. Is that what you're saying? I guess that's what you're saying. When the people that reholder the comics don't check. All right. Too much comedic material here. Marcus, can't the cases that have been reglued? Oh, so is that how it's happening? Are they being broken, but they're glued shut?
Well, glue leaves a residue. I mean, I've tried not doing CGC slabs, but I've done Lexan and polycarbonate. I worked for a company that did that, and unless you had the right glue, you couldn't.
Look at what he's saying, though. They have access to Sonic Welder. It's a $6,000 tool that you can buy.
Well, somebody needs $6,000 badly, I guess.
Yeah, but don't forget, though, when you're talking about high grade.
Yeah, true.
Hulk 181s, that will pay for itself. If you go from 8.5 to like a 9 point whatever, right? You're going to make your $6,000 back immediately.
Yeah, that's dirty. That is dirty work. That is real dirty. That's fucked up.
So when you send into to reholder, you just say that the glue is cracked. Oh, the glue. Oh, see, I never knew how they were sealed in the first place. See, I did not know that how they were sealed was related to glue, a use of glue. I wouldn't have thought it was glue. I would have thought it was the way that it's molded, the two pieces are molded.
Heat molded? You mean using heat?
No, I was kind of thinking that it was some kind of mold, some pieces that one half fit, right? Fit into some.
It's a joint.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
In the second, and that it because of the shape of it, it kind of like hooks so that once it goes in,
or it breaks up and it
the hook goes in, and so you can't pull it back out, otherwise it would break.
Right, I got you. Yeah.
Whatever it's hooked onto, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but so say you have a scratch on the case, you'd want a new. No, I know that's what I mentioned before. A lot of people like to send in when they have an ugly scratch on the case, Yeah, but that's it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's no end to the number of kind of scams people pull with this whole CGC thing, right? I remember the newsstand, LOL, and you were thankful if the new issue arrived. Yeah, exactly. You know, what I'll tell you, since we're talking about CGC, and really comic speculation in general, because this happens obviously even if it's a raw book. One thing I've noticed as I look at YouTube, and some of these comic videos cross my face. Excuse me. I've noticed. So there's people who they want, like, first of all, they will buy books. Okay, like some people will buy books from, what's it called, CBCS, the other grading.
The other one.
Yeah, the other grading.
Well, okay, whatever it is, CB something.
Yeah. West, one of our friends, West, who is in the chat sometimes. He's like, I think he's still the primary grader there. But because simply for the fact that it's not CGC, right? Because they were the first, so they have the reputation, right? It's not CGC, so the immediate attitude when they opened up, and still today, is, well, I'm not going to bid as high on a book slabbed by CSBS. I don't know who they are.
Who
are these people?
That's stupid.
It's not CGC. No, but here's the thing. It's kind of not as stupid as you think. I'll tell you why. Because there was, and I don't know if they're still around or if they're gone, but there's another company. I forget what they were called. I don't know if it was like PSA or I don't know. I don't want to, because I think PSA is like I think they're a card grading company. But anyways, there's another company who were doing it, and apparently they were scamming people. They were, the guys who owned it were, doing favors for their buddies in the hobby, giving better grades just because they were, you're a dealer, a comic book dealer.
Okay.
You're my buddy. I'll give you better grades on your books. Like, they were really scammy, and so nobody was bidding up those slab books from that company. So people figure, you can't trust those guys. This is another grading company. Why should I trust them? But here's the thing.
Why should you trust CGC either? I mean, where's
Jason mentioning Pete, just for the record, everybody.
PGX. Okay.
PGX. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, that's the guys I was thinking of.
So what makes CGC the one to go to and the one that makes the money for the collector?
Right. But see, what some guys will do, if you're smart, and this is what I think. See, I know West now because of the comic art hobby. I know West Stephan, everybody. Okay. So yeah, in fact, CBCS got bought by Beckett. Beckett, if anybody remembers.
I know Beckett's cards.
Sport cards, right?
The magazine. They had the magazines, yeah. Yeah,
the sport card magazines. Right. So they're still around, believe it or not. And so they own it now. They own a CBCS. The thing is, okay, at least now I don't have to do my homework because I know West, and West is a straight shooter, straight up guy. Now, okay, it's true that if I buy a book from CS graded CBCS, it's true. I don't know if West graded it or if one of the other graders graded it, of course, right?
Right.
But I at least trust that because you can trust West, I trust that the other graders, right, they're going to hire and train competent people, right, to do as good of a job. So now that still doesn't help you in terms of if you're going to buy a book for investment, because if you're buying CBCS, people will always look at it as, well, it's a CBCS. It comes with a discount because it's not CGC, right? However, knowing that West runs the show there, I feel I can trust that grade. Okay, if I'm just looking to speculate and make money in the hobby, and I assume some people must be doing this, but I never hear people talk. I've never heard anybody talk about this. So maybe not. I don't know. But I think if I was going to speculate in comics, I would look for high grade CBCS graded books. High grade because even with me being out of practice with grading, okay, I used to think I was good, but it's been decades now, and they're so much tighter now with professional grading. So I'm so out of practice. But with super high grades, you know, the 9, anything 9.2, honestly, and above, you look at these books, they're like beautiful. They look like one spine tick or 2 spine ticks and nothing else is wrong with it. You're like, how is this only 9.2? It looks really like, it looks like other than 1 or 2 spine ticks, you can't find anything else wrong with it. You're like, how is it only 9.2? So anyways, so you figure, you look at 9.4s, 9.6s, 9.8s. I would buy, why are a bunch of people buying the CBCS books in high grade, cracking them out? Like if you would think people are smart enough to do
like your buddy that is outside.
Huh?
Like your buddy that did the cracking and puts it in bags.
Right. But I'm saying you just but I'm saying for investment. So you
okay.
Let's say so I'm talking guys who want to make money in the hobby, right? Which again, comic book people, that's what they're really doing. They're not really collecting, they're speculating, hoping to make money down the road. So I'm saying, let's say, why wouldn't a bunch of people start buying, let's say, popular books? Okay, again, Hulk 181 as the example. Buy 9.4s or 9.6 181s from CBCS. Crack it open. Obviously, you've got to be really friggin' careful at that high grade because any tiny little thing you're going to ruin the grade.
Right.
But you buy a 9.6, you submit it now raw to CGC. They should know what the hell they're doing, right? Everybody trusts their grading, and it should come back. If it's a 9.6, it should come back a 9.8, or if it's a 9.4, it should come back a 9.6 or 9.8. You know what? You know what I'm saying? Or even if you just get the same grade, let's say it's a 9.4 and you submit it to CGC, you get your 9.4 back. Maybe you even get higher, which is awesome. You're already making money that way. But even if it doesn't, and let's say it just comes back at the same exact grade, you're still going to you should still be, I would think, be able to make money just because of the premium that a CGC 9.4 Hulk 181 must have it must get a premium over and above a CBCS Hulk 181 in 9.4. You understand?
Right. So what you're doing is you're buying low and selling high.
Right.
By the grade.
Right.
Yeah. So starting tomorrow, everybody's going to get on eBay right now. Look for those 181s.
So, Jason, what do you got to say? In your opinion, CBCS damaged themselves just from an ugly label, but they recently changed it. Do you still find it ugly? They recently updated the look, and I bet it starts to make a difference. Okay.
So what? A label hurts the price of a comic?
That's
I'm telling
you, that's why I hate comics, man. I hate comics.
Yeah,
it's all gross.
It's an oxymoron. It's really just, it just influences the market in a skewed kind of way because you're just
But look at what David's saying. Here in Australia, we have Halo certification, another company which is recognized by Overstreet. I've never even heard of that, David.
Never heard of Halo.
Wow. Okay, that's wild, man. And David, let us know. What have you seen when it comes to books certified and graded by Halo on the secondary market? How are they faring in comparison to the CGC books? Let us know. I'm curious. Because I'm thinking if CBCS sells for a discount just because people, it's not CGC, I'm figuring they're going to discount Halo even more just because it's an unknown quantity outside of Australia.
Rubén, both CGC and CGBS or whatever the second one, they charge for a service, right?
For grading, yeah.
For grading, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So do you know if they charge the equal value or the CGC is higher or what?
They all. What do you mean? No,
Does CGC charge more, or does the other one?
I don't know the fees,
Okay,
honestly.
all right.
But I checked years ago, and I remember thinking, okay, it's different but comparable. So it's not going to be some huge difference or whatever.
Right.
I believe me, nobody goes and says, "Ooh, CBCS grading is it's a couple of bucks cheaper per book. Oh, I'm going to go with them instead."
Mhm.
No, because everybody knows I get less when I sell CBCS books, you know?
Actually, Daniel makes a great comment right there. He says, "Love the comic book collectors, just makes art from key issues worth even more."
Let me get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Because number one Marvel fan says, I didn't sell anything during COVID. Should have. Yes. Well, 2021 was the peak. But again, it's just like the stock market. You're never going to get the high and you're never going to get the low. Meaning, in the stock market, right? Anybody who invests, honestly, most people have invested to some degree in the stock market at some point.
Yeah.
You will almost never, if ever, happen to sell at the absolute high.
Yeah.
And you will never actually buy your stock at the absolute low. It just doesn't happen other than on the once in a billion,
Well, unless you fix the market and you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's about the only way to do it.
Yeah. But that's it. So believe me, number one Marvel fan, a lot of people are like, oh, people I know, who still collect comics. Oh, yeah, man, I knew it. I should have sold some books in 2021. Well, no. Like, yeah, you didn't know it. In 2021, you were saying, like everybody else was saying, oh my God, it's skyrocketing. Maybe this is a great time to sell. But like, no, you didn't sell. Why didn't you sell, number one Marvel fan? The same reason nobody else did. Plain and simple. The same reason people never sell out at the top of the stock market. Greed. Because we're human and greed is inherent within all of us. And because we can't tell the future, we can't tell when something is going to peak. When something like that happens, like COVID, the COVID boom in 2021, right? While you're at the peak, you don't know that that's the peak. While it's happening, you don't know that that's the peak.
Because you're in the middle of it.
Right. Only later in hindsight, when you look back, do you see that was the peak. So at the time, you were thinking, of course, it'd be great to sell. I'd be making so much money. But if I sell, oh my God, this stuff keeps doubling every day. I'm going to lose money by selling because I could have sold it for more tomorrow, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that's why you and everybody else who didn't sell because you figured it was always going to keep going. But you'll never get the peak. And when it starts to come down a little bit, just like in the stock market, everybody thinks it's a one-off or it's a temporary break. It's a little breather. We needed a breather. It'll resume its upward climb shortly,
Right.
In the comic market, it didn't. It just sort of just kept, it'll eventually get back up, whatever. But like, it may be a little while. That's all. But yeah, a lot of comic guys are crying, man. I'm telling you. Hold on, because I wanted to get to Dan's comment that you read. CGC charges fees to value for based on the value of books. That's true. Which is something else I never liked. Now, if you were to resell the CGC book at auction, the extra in sales for it would just cover the fees of getting it done.
Mm.
So here's the
Dan. That's Daniel's. Yeah.
Okay. So love the comic book collectors. Just makes art from key issues worth even more. Helps to know where the nostalgia and key comic history rests with fans. Well, their speculation in comics to some degree does help the art, whatever, also go up. It works hand in hand because it's a related hobby, right? But,
right.
Yeah. I send in a lot of lower end books to CBCS, higher end to CGC. And CBCS is cheaper and faster returns, so get listed and sold faster. Okay. Unless you sold a couple of Secret Wars Black Suit Spidey pages. Yeah, for what was it? Was that 3 million or 5 million? 3.6 or something?
3.1, 2, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares about that 0.2 anyway, right?
Yeah. Sure, but most of us high-end people knew it was going to come down soon. Now, if I kept going higher and higher, sure, maybe. But might never get back again. So
That's true.
but that's the thing. Everybody always, you're never gonna get the top, never get the bottom. And then if you did sell, number one Marvel fan, if you sold, like let's say you did sell in 2021, right? But let's say you sold earlier in the like several months before the peak. You would have done what everybody else did who sold at that time. Everybody who sold at that time was like, oh yeah, I got $5,000 for my comic. And then another copy of that book 2 days later at auction sold for $6,000, and the person who sold 2 days earlier was like, oh fuck, I knew I shouldn't have sold that comic. I sold too soon, right? It's like, it's always, again, that's greed. It's just
I've done it with art that I sold. I've sold it for 600 and then it sells for 2,000. Yeah,
for sure. One more like the 40. Yay, awesome. Welcome back, Nick. And,
Nick, shouldn't you be sleeping with the kids and the presents and all that? Come on.
That's funny. Okay, 3.3 million. Thank you for clearing that up. Thank you. So sorry, I wanted to put the number one Marvel fans comment. If I sold my Captain America comic number one for $150K, I wouldn't get that back ever. But why would you want it back? Like you're a dealer and you're talking like a collector. Oh, but if I get rid of it, I'll never get it back because it gets, it goes too high and I don't want to pay that money to get it back. But why would you want to get it back if
I'd want the money now.
You're wheeling and dealing. The whole point is wheeling. Yes, and I know that when you're wheeling and dealing, deep down, you're still like a collector. So you have that collector mentality of, oh, but I'm going to miss this book when I part with it. I get that. But that's why it's, as you know, that's why it's so difficult to be a dealer when you still are a hardcore kind of collector. When you still have a collecting mentality in your blood, it's hard to be a dealer. It's absolutely hard to be a dealer. But if you give up collecting, you're going to make a lot more money as a dealer. I'll tell you that much. That's why I said before. That's why I was able to make a living as an art dealer for 13, 14 years, full time. It was fun. It was the greatest thing ever. But I always say, it was a modest living. I could have made way more. But the collector in me, I would always buy shit using company funds, right? When I didn't have the money available, I'll take cash flow from the business. Money that should be used to buy more inventory for resale. No, I'll take that money and I would put it into my collection that I would tie it up in my collection for years, right?
Yeah.
You can't, that's what I'm saying. You can't, if unless you can separate, right? It's if you're still a collector, very hard to make money. Very hard to make money in the same business, using it as a business,
I'm laughing at Nick's comment. This is my extended family heart.
For a lot of people. We got it to the point that Nick is back and Stanley would be proud. Exactly.
Where's Stanley?
He hasn't been around in many months. He disappeared. And then like a couple of months later, he was gone for 2 or 3 months. He appeared again for one show.
Oh.
And we were all like, oh, Stanley, what's up? Whatever. But then he again disappeared and he hasn't been back. And now it's been many more months. So I hope he's, kind of like Carl. What happened with Carl? He disappeared. But it's been longer, way longer for Stanley. I hope he's okay. I just hope it's not bad.
Maybe he sold his cap number one.
You what?
He sold his cap number one, right?
Yeah, right. Maybe. Marcus, you sold it for what it was going for at the time. That's what you sold it for. So cheap is relative, right? Thank you, Nick. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for the 40th person who did that. I appreciate that. This is my extended family. Absolutely. Exactly. We're all extended family to each other. I'm a collector first. So you consider yourself a collector first. By the way, for Hart and for everybody else who doesn't know, number one Marvel fan is a collectibles dealer. He actually has storefronts. So he's a dealer and a collector. So that's interesting that even having storefronts, you consider yourself a collector first.
Well, don't you get into the sales business for the love of it? I mean, that can be the reason why you get in as a seller of comics or art, right?
Yeah, of course. You start off as a lover of a hobbyist, right?
Yeah.
And because you love it, you're like, wow, how great would it be if I could turn my hobby also into a business, so I could have fun doing the same kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I don't really have to go to work every day, right?
I just look at funny books.
Yeah, exactly. So of course it's like that. It's just that I can tell you from experience, when you do that, it's so difficult to make money in the business. Because as a comic book person, what do? Somebody comes into the store, they got some books to sell. You interested? Suddenly the guy pulls out some beauty Silver Age books or whatever, right? In high grade, and oh my God, you're salivating. And you do a deal, you buy them. What's the first thing you do? If you're a collector, you're still a collector. Oh my God! Okay, I think I'm going to keep this one. Oh yeah. Look at this one. God, look at the condition on this one. Oh, this one's for my collection. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. Next thing you know, you dished out the money, probably with your business money, but then put some of those things into your collection. Now that stuff is gone, and
you're at a loss.
Like either a loss or just not enough of a profit to make a difference with the other book. It's not. So that's what I'm saying. So I'll be selling a lot of movie props. Oh, you're going to start selling your movie props and some comics in 2024 to buy art. Nice. I like that. I mean, no offense. I'm just not a movie prop guy myself. And I'm only an art guy. So I like that. #1 Marvel fan. I'm all in for that. Wow. Hi, all. John Stout. Do we know each other? Oh, John Stout. Welcome. If this is your first time, especially, I think it is, right? Let me know. Welcome. You're welcome. We're just shooting the breeze here. We're actually talking about comics, not art at the moment. It
looks like John likes Batman. His icon's a Batman.
Oh, yes. It looks. Oh, yeah. It looks like the McFarlane Batman.
Yep, McFarlane's.
Yeah.
So he might like Perkins. He might.
I must admit I have no graded comics with Halo. I have seen them at comic cons and comic shops, but I'm not integrating my comics. Oh, okay. Yeah, because not that I go on eBay. I don't go on eBay at all. And not that I even usually ever check Heritage, but on occasion, when I need to see a nice looking copy of a comic book, because I often do that when I do my show and tell episodes. As you guys know, I make my slides and I put the published version of the original art right next to the original art. And sometimes I get the published version scanned from the images from Heritage. And so when I go on Heritage, I have to say, I'm in the comic section looking. I've never seen anything graded by Halo. So yeah, it must be really, really small time so far, Good night and happy holidays. Oh, awesome discussion with great folks. I appreciate it. Happy holidays, Dan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Dan. Thanks.
I might keep some of the cream, but never to lose money on the buy. Over the years, I've one. Okay, man. I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it, whatever. I'm just saying most people, in my experience, including myself, have burned themselves by being collector, but burned themselves on the business side from continuing to be collectors of the same product. That's all I'm saying. Oh, okay. Thanks, Nick. John Stout. You know them from some of Nick's shows. Okay, cool. But how did you find me, John?
Probably through Nick.
Yeah, but this week I didn't give Nick. I didn't give Nick my thumbnail because I only made my thumbnail a couple of hours before.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have a thumbnail for him to to promo on his show on Friday.
So you coerced your wife to get on this picture, the promo?
You know what? Funny enough, I didn't even ask because last Christmas,
right?
She was not on the thumbnail, but she and Arwen both appeared for a few minutes, and they said,
I remember that. Yeah.
And I asked them to. This time, Vivian was the one who just came to me and said, "Okay, I'm going to come on your show tonight just to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I want to say Merry Christmas and all that to everyone, because everybody's so nice. She loves how nice and like a very community oriented it is, you know." And I was like, "Wow!" Well, without me even asking you, because I wasn't going to ask her, you know. And oh, okay, fantastic. So since she was, and I hadn't made the thumbnail yet, when I was rushing to make the thumbnail tonight, I was like, okay, let's just take a picture together. You might as well come on my thumbnail with me, whatever, you know. So there you go. That's why. So yeah, cool. Yeah, no, me too. Oh, John, I've been here before. Oh, but it has been a while. I watched a few of Nick's shows though. Okay, awesome, excellent. See, your name's kind of familiar, so I feel like you've been here before, but not often. I was looking to see who was live. Yeah, well, it's just little old us. And because it's a Christmas Eve episode that is unplanned. Literally, I only decided today for sure that I was going to go live stream, and because it's unplanned. Well, when I do these unplanned shows for Christmas, New Year, unplanned means anything goes. I just come here to chat, and to be honest, I do it because my family and I don't really celebrate on Christmas Eve. And I figured there's collectors who don't celebrate it, like Hart don't celebrate Christmas, whether it's for religious reasons or whether they just like me, like it's not religious related. Or just for us, okay, tomorrow we'll have an opening of the gifts and then we'll go have some family lunch or whatever, But for Christmas Eve, we don't do nothing. So I figured, okay, might as well come on, see if anybody else who doesn't celebrate, or if people do typically celebrate but might be alone this year for whatever reason, don't want them to be lonely, whatever, come in and hang out with us and we just shoot the breeze. But because it's unplanned, we end up talking about everything and anything under the sun, including colonoscopies, movies, comic books,
scandals,
yeah. So
any stupid comments that I make, just the normal rigmarole.
Yeah, exactly. Or that I make. Anyone in chat put artist editions on their Christmas want list? Send family a big list. Nice. Not a bad idea, but boy, you gotta have to have some pretty generous family. Those are they're not exactly cheap. Those books,
Yeah, I've never had any of my family buy me art, so.
Yeah. And somebody, I don't know if you were here when they asked me. Somebody had asked me if anybody had ever bought me art for a Christmas present. I said no.
No, I wasn't here, so.
Yeah, no. My wife or daughter, like they don't know when somebody doesn't know anything about comics,
right?
You definitely don't want them buying anything related to, like what you collect. It's going to be something you don't want, basically, and then it's like, why, don't save your money, don't bother,
Hey Marcus, send Ruben another Bugs Bunny artwork, please. Or
send me Bugs Bunny.
He will.
Family says I'm hard to buy for, so just made lots of artists. No, it's cool. Hey, if they can afford it, if they're willing to spend that level for gifts, no, that's a great gift. Yeah, that's a great thing to put on your list, But just buy Michigan Wolverine gear. Nice. Yeah, but then you might buy something that I don't really want or I don't want to wear, because gear. It's clothing, right? There's still like certain. I wouldn't wear anything just because it says Michigan Wolverines on it. You gotta like it, right? So that's why things that are based on like taste, right? Or anything that's related to art. So fashion is artistic. So clothing, that counts. Clothing, music, art. Yeah, anything in the arts. It's but then again, I find it very hard and frustrating and stressful as hell to gift shop in general, even for friends and family, which is why, as I've said many times before, we don't exchange gifts. You as well, Hart, are one of those people.
We don't do that, and tomorrow we're just going to go out to a buffet, just to have some food and come back. Nothing special. And it's not about religion. It's about just the fact that I haven't celebrated Christmas or Thanksgiving or my birthday and ever in like 30 years almost. So it's like just something that I just don't care to do.
There you go.
I'm a strange guy.
So that's it. So no, that's why. And you know, I've been a non-gift exchanger with all family, all friends. Only my daughter, our daughter. We get her gifts, you know. But that's it. That's it. Nobody else. And that's it. And that's why when I get, you know, wonderful friends like Marcus sending me surprise boxes in the mail, I get upset. I'm thankful, of course.
Yeah, I understand. I get the same way.
It makes me, you know how it is. You get guilty. Yeah. You're feeling me guilty, and it's like, but if I start sending gifts, everybody wants to, and then I'm starting that whole trap I used to fall into of now I'm starting to you too. Okay, I might as well get you a gift too, right? And I don't want to pick and choose my friends, right? Like who might, you know, man. And so I feel guilty, and he keeps insisting on making me feel guilty, you know. So I don't know, man, but that's just how I feel about that. Never art IDW artist editions. There's loads I need. Okay. If I would get them, I don't get them anymore, only because I'm short of space. I just don't have space for that anymore. A thong.
I do plan on getting one.
Tell you what, next year you can send me a thong. If you can find me a thong with the Michigan Wolverines, anything related to with a thong, you can send me that. I'll accept without feeling guilt. How about that? The cheerleaders calendar. You know, honestly, if I was still 20, 18, 22, 20, whatever. Yeah.
14.
Whatever. Huh?
14.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. But nah, that's not my kind of thing now. Marcus, wait, give me something special. Oh yeah, he gave you your what was it again? He picked up the apparel piece, I think is you're talking about, right? Something special in San Diego. Yeah, I think it's the apparel piece. But anyways, yeah, so okay, so the CGC talk finished. We've now hit 1 o'clock. It's a 3-hour show all of a sudden. I think we'll call it.
Good enough.
Yeah. All right. Let's call it. It's 1 o'clock here in the morning for you, and even on the West Coast, it's starting to get late at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But okay. I thought you guys were always talking these messages back and forth about the apparel. Okay, a toy. Okay.
Marcus and a toy. That doesn't sound very good.
Shit. Marcus will definitely not send me one of those. He knows better. He knows better. But yeah, Merry Christmas to you, Nick. Merry Christmas, Marcus. Thank you as always. Wow, Brian, did you leave and come back? Oh my God, we are just getting warmed up. We are not. We are going to close this out because it has.
Is he being Stanley?
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, exactly. He's being Stanley. Exactly. But again, everybody, please keep in mind next Sunday, breaking the streak, taking the week, whatever the Sunday off. We'll not be doing a show, but I'll be back on the 7th of January. Not booked yet, so I have no idea what will happen. Hopefully I can get something booked by then. So yeah, have a great Christmas for those of you who celebrate it, and all of you have a great New Year. Stay safe out there, especially if you get on the road to travel back and forth or whatever, and especially if you've been drinking and all that stuff, man. Just be careful. Don't want to hear about anybody dying. That's it. Hang with me here for a second while we say bye.
Sure. Everybody have a good one.
Love you too, Nick. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. And David, thank you, Ruben and Hart, for such a fun show. Everybody in the chat, have a great Christmas and New Year. Yeah, thank you, David, for all your support.
Thanks,
always.
David.
Thank you. And Aussie. All right, everyone. Thanks again. And we will catch you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tonight.
Rock on.
All right, guys. Peace.